How you doing?
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about giving this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Sir, if you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Full name is Marquis Cooper, Marquue, last name Cooper, Cooper.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you employed?
By the city of Henderson.
What's your position there?
I am a patrol officer
How long have you worked in that capacity?
for 8 years.
And what are some of the duties of a patrol officer? Could you inform the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that may not know?
For patrol officers, typically responding for calls for service. It can be something as simple as a civil dispute or as a shooting. So just whatever calls for service that come through the computer.
And as a patrol officer, are there certain areas that you're assigned to?
Yes, so Henderson's separated by the North Division, West and East, was assigned to the North Division. And in those, also in those North, they're separated by what they call beats or areas, which is, they're numbered on ours as 1 through 7 for the North.
And you said which area command were you responsible for on around the time frame of August 7th, 2023?
That was the North Area Command.
What types of call for service would you go out to and respond to?
As far as on that day or just in general?
Just in general.
It could be a gamut of things. I mean, like I said, a simple complaint of neighbor dispute to a shooting to petty larceny. We had them all there, so a lot of petty larceny and things of that nature. So it could be anything you can respond to.
Then turning your attention to August 7th of 2023, were you working as a patrol officer at that time?
Yes.
And which area command was that again?
The North Area Command.
North Area Command. Were you then dispatched to a call at 2698 Paladura Drive on that date?
Yes.
Around what time did that call come out?
Don't know the exact time, but I roughly think it was around 8:50-ish.
Fair to say around 8:40 in the morning?
Yes.
And what was the nature of the call as you understood it at that time?
At that time, what I had was the CAD notes from the computer, and it just said that a mother found her son, and she saw blood, and I think the other detail was he didn't have a face. That's what the call note stated.
And then after getting that information, did you then respond to that Paladura address?
Yes.
Did you respond with anyone?
Yes, there was another officer dispatched with me, and I also responded with the Henderson Fire Department.
Do you recall which officer was with you?
Officer Flores, and then more eventually showed up after.
Okay, but initially it's you and Officer Flores that respond to this Paladura address.
Yes, ma'am.
When you responded to the address, were you in a marked patrol vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. How is it that you responded to the scene? And specifically what I'm wondering is, did you roll code?
Initially I started code, but I was close by, and then I shut down just because I was close by, and it was more safety reasons.
Can you inform us what rolling code means?
That is lights and sirens.
How long did it ultimately take you to get to the scene once the call came out, would you say?
I don't know the exact
Was
time.
it hours, minutes?
No, a few minutes.
And when you did arrive to the scene, were you wearing what's called a body-worn camera?
Yes.
And was that recording when you did respond?
Yes.
Prior to today, did you review that body-worn camera footage?
Yes.
Your Honor, permission to admit State's Exhibit 2 that I believe has been previously stipulated between the parties for its admission.
Absolutely, no objection.
Okay, states do will be amended?
Your Honor, permission to publish that exhibit?
Yes.
able to see that in front of you at that computer screen?
Yes.
Okay. And what does that appear to be?
You sorry? What'd you say?
In front of you, what does that appear to be on the computer screen?
My body cam footage.
Okay. And specifically looking at the top right-hand position, do we see a date there?
Yeah.
And what does that date say?
8721E3.
And would that be August 7th, 2023?
Yes.
And is there a timestamp at the start of this video?
Yes. 8:46 a.m.
And about 13 seconds?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and play the video from the beginning. And specifically fast forward to about the minute mark. Publishing at 53 seconds.
Good morning.
And I'm going to pause it there at 108. That siren we heard, is that your rolling code, as you would call it?
At this point, I was just trying to get around so I think there were some cars blocking. I was trying to get around to.
Understood. Playing again from 108.
Sure, 52 visual. Good. I can do one deliver from apartment. Call in to the response service. I logged in the call. Okay, go for it. Sure, 52.
And I'm going to pause the video at 1 minute 36 seconds. So when you approach the scene, the 2698 Paladura Drive, are there already people at the residence?
Yes, the Henderson Fire Department, and there was somebody outside. I don't know who that was.
But it was a fire department response prior to your response?
Yes.
Okay. And is this you obviously walking towards the residence?
Yes.
Playing at 1 minute 36 seconds. And I just want to stop it here at 142. Is there anything unique about sort of the garage area that you saw when you were walking up to the residence?
That it was just slightly cracked.
Playing at 142. And I'm stopping here at 159. Did you hear something in the background when you arrived?
A dog barking.
Okay. Do you recall the dogs being in the house at the time?
I don't recall if they were in the house.
Playing at 159.
Let's lock this down then.
Stopping it at 2 minutes 19 seconds. Was that your voice there, sir?
Yes.
And what did you say in that video?
If it was missing head, let's lock it down.
Okay. And what does lock it down mean?
Meaning there's now a crime scene, so we kind of push everybody out and freeze that area to limit access to the house, essentially.
The initial response was not necessarily a response to a crime. Is that correct?
Not initially.
Okay. It was to see, essentially respond to what was being called into as someone that needed potential medical aid. Is that right?
Yes.
But once you saw this, you determined it appeared to be a crime scene and you locked it down.
Yes.
Playing again at 2:19.
Lock this down. Let's FI down.
And I'm going to stop right there at 2 minutes 32 seconds because I hear another term that we may not know. What does FI mean?
FI is a field interview, so essentially we'll gather information, name, date of birth, things of that nature. It's a field interview of people involved.
Okay, and that was because you had seen, I believe we saw earlier in the video, 2 individuals that appeared to have lived in the residence that you wanted to do an interview of. Is that right?
Yes.
Playing again at 2:32.
Sarge, 142, are you en route?
Stopping the video at 2 minutes 50 seconds. I hear you on your radio. What are you doing at that point?
At this point, I'm just making sure, due to the nature of the call, making sure the supervisor is on his way.
And who was your supervisor that you were reaching out to?
Sergeant Shields.
And is that typical protocol to reach out to a supervisor in
Yes.
this type of situation?
Yes.
Okay. And when you went into the room, what were your initial observations of what you saw? Clearly, you saw a deceased person. Is that right?
Yes.
Anything unique about the body?
I think initially, obviously, that it was decapitated, and there wasn't much blood initially that I figured it would be, and also there was like a strong, like, chemical smell inside that room. Was the first initial things that were surprising to me.
Were you able to see what was used to cut off the head or kill the person?
No.
Playing at 2 minutes 50 seconds.
Copy. Hey, we're locking it down until we get here. North 71, hey, when you get here, can you grab a crime scene log?
And stopping at 3 minutes 8 seconds. What is a crime scene log?
Crime scene log is, once we determine it's a crime scene, it's pretty much a document to list out who enters or who exits that crime scene.
So in this video, you're essentially asking for one of those. Is that right?
Yes.
Playing at 3:08. And I'm pausing at 3:11. Are those the 2 individuals that you saw in the home that appear to be residents?
Yes.
Were you able to, through your investigation, identify those 2 individuals?
Yes.
Okay. And was that Yoko Willette and Masao Yoshida?
Yes.
Playing at 3:11. And I'm stopping there at 3:24. We hear in the video that it appears to be only those 2 individuals as well as the deceased that was in the home at that time. Is that right?
Yes.
Playing at 3:24. Stopping the video at 3:55. So essentially, after you are locking down the scene, calling your sergeant, and the investigation is underway, what do you do at this point?
At this point, we're just waiting for the sergeant to get here. We're eventually going to set up some crime scene tape and start that crime scene log.
Court's indulgence. Your Honor, the state will pass the witness. Cross.
Yes, thank you. Officer Cooper, you had said something on your direct. You had testified that obviously you see that this body is missing a head, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you had said that there was not as much blood as you thought there would be, correct?
Yes.
It's based upon experience.
In this situation, no, just from being on different types of critical incidents.
Fair to say that there wasn't as much blood there as you thought there would be. Perhaps that head was removed somewhere else, correct? Different spot.
One more time, sorry?
I said fair to say that based upon you not seeing as much blood as you thought there would be, reasonable assumption is maybe that body was decapitated somewhere else other than where you saw it laying in bed, correct?
I'm not sure if it was moved or what. Just on my initial, it didn't seem.
Okay. You'd also testified that when you came into the residence, this smell hit you. I think your testimony was it was a strong smell, correct?
Yes.
Now, there were two other occupants at 849 when you arrived. It was Yoko and the couple that was
Yes.
staying there, correct?
Yes.
Was there ever an indication or a statement made to you by either one of them concerning the strong smell in the house?
No.
No. Thank you. No further questions. Good afternoon.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Now, sir, can you please state your full name and then spell it for the record?
My name is Forrest Shields, FORESTSHIELDS.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you employed?
How am I employed with the
Yes,
city
sir.
of Henderson? I'm a police sergeant.
How long have you worked as a police sergeant?
As a police sergeant, approximately 2 years. But as in law enforcement, I'm just started my 28th year.
28 years?
28 years.
It's a long time.
Yes.
What was your career path to become a patrol sergeant?
I started my career in Honolulu Police Department. And then while I was there, I worked patrol, field training officer, a couple plainclothes detective type units. And then I came here in 2006, and I've been employed with Henderson since 2006. That time I've been patrol, field training officer. I went into SWAT in 2013, and I spent about 10 years on our SWAT team as a training coordinator, ATL on the team, assistant team leader. And then from there, I tested out and promoted to sergeant and went to patrol as a patrol sergeant. And currently I'm assigned to our police academy in charge of training all the new recruits that are coming into the department.
That's an awesome responsibility, right?
Yes.
So then, turning your attention to August 7th, 2023, were you working as a patrol sergeant at that time?
Patrol sergeant, yes.
Okay. And what are some of the duties of a patrol sergeant?
Well, patrol sergeants, they typically have approximately 10 patrol officers assigned to them. Then you have a specific area of the city that you're responsible for. This was a North Area Command. And you basically monitoring calls that they're going on. The patrol officers are actively patrolling their areas, responding to 911, emergency, non-emergency calls. And if they need assistance from a supervisor, they'll call you to the scene. Supervisors also monitoring the radio. If you think there's a call that may be out of the ordinary and they may need assistance, you'll start heading that way. If there's any critical incidents, you're typically one of the first supervisors on scene to get it stabilized until a watch commander can come out and take over.
So then, turning your attention to that date, was there sort of an out-of-the-ordinary scene that you responded to?
Yes.
And was that at 2698 Paladura Drive in Henderson?
Yes.
What was the nature of the call as you understood it?
Well, it came in as a medical call. Mom called and said that her son was injured and that he was bloody. And I recall like the dispatchers tried giving CPR instructions, and just the mom stated, however she stated, that she refused. The call note said that she refused CPR because he had no neck or head, but there was a lot of blood. So it was a medical call, basically. We were responding to unknown medical call.
Okay. So you respond to the address, is that right?
Yes.
And who was already there at the time? Do you know?
The firefighters and one of my guys, Officer Cooper. I think there was a couple officers. Typically the patrol officers, because they're out and about proactively patrolling, they'll get there first, then they'll call me to the scene. So when I got there, fire was on scene. A few of my guys were on scene. They kind of established a crime scene. I met them outside. They gave me a quick brief and went in.
So at the time you arrived then, the scene was locked down as a crime scene, is that right?
Yes.
What did you notice when you got to the scene?
More like outside, inside?
Yeah, let's start with the outside. So starting from the outside, when you arrived to the scene, did you notice anything of note, at the front of the home?
So I noticed the garage was partially open, maybe, I don't know, 3 feet. The exterior roll-up garage door, and at the front door, there was a older female and male sitting outside talking to one of my officers, and the front door was open. So I just went up and started talking to them.
When you say talking to them, talking to the male and female at the front door?
Yes.
And were they identified as Yoko Willette and Yoshida Masao?
Yes, it ended up being the person in the room. It was their mom and I believe her boyfriend.
So the deceased's mother?
Yes.
And the mother's boyfriend?
Yes.
So you walk into the front door of the scene. Walk us through what you saw, what you heard, things of that nature.
Okay, so I go in and my officer is escorting me back. So we walk into like the living room area, go into the kitchen, take a few steps down, and come back this way. It's like a converted living room area maybe that was converted into a bedroom. And the bed is to our right. And then laying on the bed was a body, the deceased. And then, do you want me to explain that more? Or?
Was there anything you noticed that you smelled when you were inside the room?
Well, initially, but we didn't know what it was until later. But you could kind of taste and smell like a little burning that's not common walking into people's houses.
So you described it as a burning, like a chemical burning smell. Was that right?
Yeah, like you could kind of taste it a little bit, and you could definitely felt it in your nostrils. But it wasn't really strong when we first went in. As strong as it seemed like it got stronger the longer we were there.
And more in the bedroom area?
Yes.
And you may have already said this, but was there anything unique about the body when you saw it?
Well, so like I said, I came from the kitchen down the stairs, came around. The bed is here, and the body was laying face down on the bed, and the shoulders were kind of, if the body was laying this way, face down, the shoulders were kind of even with the edge of the bed. And I think it was partially wrapped in a blanket. And just things that I noticed, there didn't appear to be like signs of any struggle or anything. Like there wasn't a bunch messed up. It was just kind of laying there, like the arms weren't moved or anything. So it's pulled to the edge, and it just, in my mind, I thought, man, that was just a really clean cut, and then there was no head.
Okay.
And then
Now you had mentioned the body was laying on the bed. Is that right?
the body was laying on the bed, yes.
And was it on the body's stomach?
Yes, on the
person's
stomach,
stomach?
laying face down. Yeah, the back was facing up.
Okay. And where the head would have been off the bed. Is that right?
Yes, like I said, the shoulders were kind of in line right with the edge of the bed. So the head would have been out here.
Did you see any blood at the scene?
I did see blood, but just from experience over the years, like you've seen people shot or stabbed or other lose a limb on a motorcycle accident or other type of trauma to the body, you would expect to see a lot more blood. And that was something that stuck in my head, is like, there's blood, but I would expect to see a lot more, especially under where the head would have been. Like, I don't know if like maybe something was put there or something to collect. It's what it appeared. Like maybe something was put there to collect the blood, because there was just what appeared to be not as much blood that you would imagine being there.
So no blood spattering, things of that nature that you might
Right.
normally
I remember there was blood on the mattress to the right of the body, and then a small, I mean, I don't know if that's small. I think there's a small amount of blood on the floor. And then, yeah, looking around, the wall wasn't very far away. You would expect to see some type of cast off, spatter, blood anywhere. But it was just, it appeared like a very clean scene, other than the body, the blood, the little blood.
Now, the color of the blood, was it unusual?
Yeah, typically, I mean, blood is pretty obvious. Like we've all seen blood, but this one wasn't like the typical fresh red blood. It was more of like a black color.
And that's not normal based on your training and experience from what you've seen with bloody incidents.
Based on my experience and being at other crime scenes, with, you know, the time lapse, no, not common and not consistent with what I've seen in the past.
Now, you mentioned to us that you have 28 years of law enforcement experience.
Yes.
Was this the first decapitation you responded to in your career?
I was thinking about that. I can't recall another decapitation.
Something you would probably remember if you did see it before, right?
Yes.
So it's not your everyday event that you see something like this, right?
No.
Did you inspect any other rooms other than that bedroom where the body was found?
Yes. So after seeing that and just thinking about the blood, I went around. So if you go around the bed, back there's kind of like a little hallway that led into a bathroom. So I walked into the bathroom, and before I went to the bathroom, I remember having to step over 2 bottles of like cleaning, liquid cleaning bottles, some kind of Clorox or that type of thing, bottles laying on the carpet prior to getting to the bathroom. So stepped over those, went into the bathroom because I was wondering maybe if there was blood in the sink or blood in the bathroom or anything, but nothing appeared. There didn't appear to be any blood in there, and didn't appear to be any signs of struggle in there either. So the other things that I noticed that the mom had said outside, I confirmed what she had told me, where she said when she came downstairs, she thought it was weird that the dogs were locked out, and the interior garage door, the single door, was propped open, and then the exterior door was rolled up. So when I came out of the bathroom, I noticed that the interior garage door was propped open, the exterior roll-up door was part of the way up.
Okay. Now I want to turn back to the body that you saw. Did you notice anything peculiar emanating from the body?
It was actually pointed out by one of my officers on the scene. I was kind of by the foot of the bed, I think, and he said, "Hey, Sarge, this guy is smoking." And I was like, "What?" He said, "This guy is smoking. There's smoke coming from underneath him." So I go over there and see he's shining his flashlight. You could see kind of smoke coming off of the body, or what appeared to be some smoke coming off the body. So I told my officer, I said, "Hey, get a camera and start taking pictures of this scene," because in my mind I'm thinking, if this catches on fire, we need to get as much photos as we can before we lose the scene to a fire, and then firemen shooting water all over everything. So let's try and get as much photos as we can. So then we get closer, and he's shining his light, and then you can really start. It was coming, you know, like I said, if he's laying face down on his shoulders, it was more coming from like under him, around like
from like the chest area.
Yeah, from between like the bed and him. So that's why I didn't know, all right, is this something that's going to start on fire? But then once we got closer, taking a closer look, that's when you could really smell, and it burned inside of your nose, and you could really taste it. So I'm like, hey, we got to clear the guys out of there. This is some kind of chemical that's mixing.
Okay. Did you eventually then get a statement from Yoko Willette, the deceased mother?
I talked to her.
Okay.
I didn't get like an official statement like a detective.
You spoke with her.
I spoke
Is that right?
with her.
What did she share with you?
She shared with me that she last saw them.
And it's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted, it's just for the investigation and what led to the investigation. So after taking this statement or speaking with Yoko
Yes.
and conducting that initial investigation, did you eventually call the lieutenant to come out?
Yes, that the patrol supervisor. Yeah, that's your job. You get there, make sure the crime scene is locked down, taped off, so all the evidence and the crime scene's preserved. Then that's why I spoke to her to get a brief story, so I could report up my chain. So once I get the story, my guy's observations, the story from mom, I put that together. I call my watch commander, and then we make notifications to get detectives and crime scene to come out to the scene to hand over the investigation to them.
And did you learn through your investigation that there were children as well involved?
Yes.
Okay. And were you attempting to locate those children?
Yes, and that was because the mom had, and part of my conversation with her, said that he was supposed to take the kids to school.
Okay. And I believe you mentioned there was crime scene tape that was put up around the residence to lock it down as well.
Yes.
Okay. And while you were waiting for the lieutenant as well as other investigators to arrive, did you also still investigate the scene and look around for different things of evidentiary value?
Yes, the male's truck was outside, so we moved the crime scene tape around the truck. Noticed, I think, what we thought there were spots on the driveway that we thought may be evidence. So, yeah, and at that point, I kind of break away once it's secure, and then I start kind of getting my thoughts and the information put down, because when the detectives and crime scenes show up, it's my responsibility to give them a brief when I turn over the scene.
And as part of your duties as well, did you initially send individuals, other officers, to canvass for different surveillance footage as well?
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of standard protocol on the crime scenes. Once you have everything secure, your extra officers go out, try and find witnesses. Other officers go and try and video surveillance that may have caught something.
So you mentioned that you were putting together a brief for this case, is that right?
Yes.
And as part of that brief, is there an event number and a report number assigned to the case?
Yes.
Can you tell us the difference between the two?
Well, the event number is a longer number. It's the year, the month, the day, and then the number of calls in that 24-hour period. So at midnight, the next police emergency call that comes in will be year, month, day, 001. The 10th call will be 0010. So that's how the event numbers cover the 24-hour period of police work. And then the report number covers the annual period of police work for police reports taken. So it'll start with the year and then the number of report it is. So January 1st, 1201, the first police report taken will be, for next year, will be 26, 4 zeros and a 1.
Okay. So starting then with the event number, in this case, do you have a reason to dispute that the event number was HP 230807000355?
No.
Okay. And the report number for this case, do you have a reason to dispute it being 23-15229?
No.
Does that sound correct?
Yeah.
And so while you're doing your briefing, eventually detectives and crime scene analysts eventually show up to the scene. Is that right?
Yes.
And after they showed up, what did you do?
So they showed up. I let them know about the chemical smell, the possible hazard, and the smoking. And then, like I said, I give them a brief. Basically, I write up. It has the report number, location, the rescue that was on scene, their information, the initial patrol officers that made entry with them, the time they made entry, then the information of the deceased, the information of the other people in the home. It's just basically like an overview of what we have. And then that there was no obvious weapon on the scene, and just kind of some of the abnormal, typical things that we talked about already.
And so after you give this briefing, does your role cease at that point?
Yes, that's when, if they have any questions, they would ask questions. Then I do a walkthrough with them, showing them where my officers went, what we did, things that we thought may possibly be important, and then turn over the scene to them, and then we move out, and then they handle it. So I would then look at my staffing and see how many people do I need here for this. For sure, one for the crime scene log up front, and then I start clearing guys off the call to go clear up other calls that are pending.
Thank you. Court's indulgence. State passes the witness, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you. Sergeant Seals, you've been employed in law enforcement for 28 years.
Yes, sir.
Worked your way up.
Yes, sir.
You're an instructor.
Yes, sir.
A lot of experience.
Yes.
You testified that you've been in multiple crime scenes through these 28 years.
Yes.
Fair to say that, you know, a severed appendage, an arm or a leg is going to bleed, but a head, I mean, there's got to be a lot more blood going on there, correct? One would assume.
You would think so.
And you would testify that when you got there, having been on so many crime scenes, you go and you look in the bathroom because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you're assuming this head wasn't, I mean, removed from the body here on the bed. It had to have been somewhere else. Fair to say?
No, I didn't say that. It seemed like because the shoulders were pulled to the edge of the bed, it appeared that it was done there. But I was looking to see, you know, because the shoulders pulled over here. It didn't appear that it was done somewhere else.
But you said you went and looked in the bathroom, correct?
Yeah, to see if there was like cleanup, signs of struggle, or something.
Blood?
Yeah, blood from washing your hands. Because I looked in the sink around the ring and didn't see anything that.
Based upon the blood markings on the bed, it was clear the body had been moved.
I can't say that.
Okay. Can't give an opinion one way or the other?
Well, the body was here. There was blood on the right side of the body. And like I said, directly under where the shoulders were, there was an area of blood like that. But I don't, yeah.
But you testified things just didn't seem right, and that's why you went and you looked in the bathroom, correct?
Yes.
And, I mean, you'd agree with me, you talk about a bucket, I mean, that's just, you're speculating. I mean, you're hypothesizing, fair to say.
Absolutely.
And fair to say that you can't say. I mean, if something was wrong, so you went and you looked in the bathroom, correct? Based upon what you saw.
Based on what I saw, like I said, that is speculation, but it's like what made sense with the way that the blood was, the body was, lack of blood on the thing, the shoulders lined up with the side. And part of me going into the bathroom also is just before I turn things over to detectives, I want to make sure that I checked everything in case they have questions for me.
Fair enough. But again, you would have expected to have seen a lot more blood, correct? Had
Yes.
the head just been chopped off or sawed off or however removed there, correct?
If they were alive at the time, you know, because typically when I have seen those injuries, if you're alive, your blood is pumping and it squirts. It's, you know, I've seen a guy cut his neck and it squirts.
All over the place. Have you ever had any cases
If they're
where
alive.
have you ever had an experience though where a head's been cut off with a saw alive or dead?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so we don't
Yeah.
know then. Fair to say?
Fair to
But you
say.
went and looked in the bathroom, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No further questions.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for the witness, sir, you can write your question on a full sheet of paper with your name and your juror number. King Counsel approach.
Yes, ma'am. Judge.
In speaking to the homeowners, Yoko, were the dogs hers or the victim? Did she tell you?
The only thing the direct answer to your question is, I don't know whose they were.
Okay. Was it no? Did she tell you if it was normal for them to be locked out based on your conversation with Yoko?
She said it was abnormal.
Okay. State any follow-up based on the juror question?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, jury, have any further questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response, sir, you are excused. Thank you very much for your testimony here today.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next witness is going to take a little bit of time, so we're going to take a brief bathroom break, and the next witness will take us through the rest of the day. During this break, you must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including fellow jurors, in any way regarding this case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or social media. You must not read, watch, or listen to any news or media accounts or commentary about the case. You must not do any research, such as consulting dictionaries, using the internet, or using reference materials. You must not make any investigation, test the theory of the case, reprove any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own. You must not form or trust any opinion regarding this case till it's finally submitted to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 3:25. We'll get recess until 3:40.
All rise for the jury.
And record effect for outside presence of the jury. Do you guys have any matters outside of the record?
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You have a seat. Sir, if you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Devyn Willette,
Can you spell that for us, sir?
DEVIERWILLETTE.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Devier, how old are you?
29, sir.
I can scoop this up so you don't have to. What is your birthday?
March 1st, 1996.
What was your relationship to Johnathan Willette?
I was his son.
Do you have siblings?
I have 2 younger sisters.
And what's your mom's name?
Arminthia Sands.
Do you remember or know when your dad and Arminthia split?
I was probably about 9 years old.
When they split and you were 9 years old, where were you guys living generally? Was it here in Vegas?
I don't remember.
Did you go back and forth between Vegas and California?
Yes, sir.
Quite a bit in your life?
Never saw him.
Okay. Did there come a point in time where your dad moved here and stayed in Vegas pretty much permanently until his death?
Yes, sir.
And where was he living in the latter years of his life?
On Paul, Georgia.
Is that with your grandma?
Yes, sir.
Is that Yoko?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a point in time when you were introduced to a woman by the name of Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And ultimately, you end up getting married to Nikki. And we have a lot to unpack here. I'm sorry to air your dirty laundry, but we have to ask a lot of questions about this, okay? When you first met Nikki, was she dating or in a relationship with your dad?
They were dating at the time.
They were dating at the time?
Yes, sir.
Where were they living at the time, if you know?
I don't know.
When your dad and Nikki were together, did they eventually have children?
Yes, sir.
And is that your 2 sisters?
Yes, sir.
We don't need to say their names, but what are their approximate ages?
I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. I just need an approximate. So Are they right now under the age of 13?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, were you in kind of living with Dad or anything like that when he was with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And when they had the children together, were they living together?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember where that was?
Not the numbers, but it was on Blue Magic Street.
Blue Magic?
Yes, sir.
Is that here in Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Before the girls were born, did there come a point in time where you and Nikki became intimate? Or was it after?
It was after.
Okay. So girls are born. Do Nikki and your dad stay together after the girls are born?
Yes, sir.
And for how long did they stay together before they split? When eventually, after the girls are born, do you and Nikki enter into an intimate relationship?
Yes, sir.
About how old were you at that time?
19.
19 years old?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how old she was at the time?
No, sir.
How was it that that relationship kind of started? Do you remember who kind of, I don't mean to be crass, but like who made the first move or any of that? Okay, it was a long time ago, right?
Yes, sir.
While you were intimate with Nikki initially, was she still dating your dad? Or in a relationship with your dad?
Yes, sir.
Does it embarrass you to admit that in front of a bunch of strangers?
Yes, sir.
Did you continue being intimate with Nikki for an extended period of time?
Yes, sir.
Do you know if your dad found out about the intimate part of your relationship?
No, sir.
And I'm not going to say it a bunch of times, but when I say intimate, I mean sexual. We agree there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did there come a point in time where you all three lived under the same roof?
Yes, sir.
And was that the Magic House?
Yes, sir.
And is that when the relationship, intimate relationship, started out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, tell me if you can remember, when is it that any of you three move out of Blue Magic? Like, we need to get a sequence of events. Do you move out first? Do they split and move in different places? Or can you remember that for me?
I moved out first.
Where did you move to?
I moved back to California.
And where did you stay in California, if you remember?
187 Poppy Circle.
Was that with other family?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Eventually, do you move back to Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, sir.
Okay. When you do move back to Vegas, after moving to Cali, you move back to Vegas, do you move in with Yoko at the Paladura address?
No, sir.
Where did you move that time?
Back to the Blue Magic House.
Okay. Did you then leave back to California for a second time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And while I stepped one step too far ahead, when you moved back to Vegas the first time, you moved into Blue Magic. Who was living at Blue Magic?
My father, Nikki, Tanae, and Janae.
The two girls?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was there some kind of discussion with Nikki at that time about being pregnant?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
I moved back to California, and I was told that she was pregnant with my child, and if I didn't move back, she was going to have that child.
So she tells you this?
She told me that.
So you had gotten out of the situation back in Cali, and you, I presume, talked to her over the phone or something?
Yes, sir.
She tells you she's pregnant, it's yours, and unless you come back, she is going to have the child.
Yes, sir.
What did you do in response to that? Did you witness her go to a doctor?
No, sir.
Did she tell you anything about that child she claimed was yours?
She told me that she had gotten an abortion.
But you never saw any documentation or
No, sir.
anything like that? Okay. So you're pulled back into the situation, you're back here in Vegas, and then you move out again to California.
Yes, sir.
When you moved back to California that time, do you remember your dad, Nikki, and the girls still staying at Blue Magic together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you go back to California, and when is it that you return?
A couple of years after that.
A couple of years?
I believe it was 4
Okay.
years after that.
And you spoke with Miss Griffith and I last night, right?
Yes, sir.
We talked about, I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you don't know a date, you estimate, but don't guess. We're in agreement there, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're doing your best with the dates.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you moved back this time, were the girls living with Nikki and just Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Where was your dad living?
Paul Dura Drive.
Where did you move to?
Paul Dura Drive.
So you lived with your dad?
Yes, sir.
Who else lived in the home?
Yoko and Yoshida.
Okay. Is Yoshida Yoko's partner, friend, boyfriend?
Yes, sir.
They're elderly folks.
Yes, sir.
When you lived with your dad, how was your relationship at that time?
It was fine. I worked with him.
You worked with him too?
Yes, sir.
Doing what?
Anything and everything.
Okay.
From moving houses to setting up backyards.
Moving houses, setting up backyards? Okay. So let me ask you kind of a general question before we move on. Is it fair for me to say that your dad was in and out of your life growing up?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a strong relationship with your dad as you're getting into your late teens, early 20s, or was it just kind of a, that's my dad and don't see him too often, or what?
No, I love my father, so we have a strong relationship.
Okay. Did there come a point in time when you're living with him at Palo Duro and working that you guys have some disagreements about work and other stuff?
Yes, sir.
Would you consider your dad to have been a hard-headed person?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was he an opinionated guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever tell your dad that you had been having a sexual relationship with the father of his other children?
The mother, you mean?
The mother. Jeez, I said father. Yeah.
No, sir.
I apologize. Knowing your dad as you did, if he had known you were having a sexual relationship with his mother of his children, is he the type of guy that would have just said nothing and let it go?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you never tell him. I don't want to ask an obvious question, but why not?
I couldn't build up the courage to do it.
Okay. Eventually, do you move out of the Palo Duro?
Just 1 second, Mr. Chairman. You can't hear him? Okay. And I'm sorry, sir. Your voice is, thank you so much. Your voice is just way soft to people. And we're going to see if we can figure out this. Sir, can you just say test for me?
Oh, test.
Can you hear him better now? Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Giuliani.
Thank you, Judge. Oh.
Nobody can be held in contempt.
All right. I'm going to keep that one in the back pocket. So you eventually move out of Palo Duro.
Yes, sir.
Dad stays, Yoko and Yoshida stay.
Yes, sir.
Where do you move?
To 5510 Porcupine Rim Street.
Did you move in with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And I've been saying Nikki. Did you know Nikki by several different names?
Tracy, Devyn, and Nikki. Those three.
Tracy, Devyn, and Nikki?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Devyn spelled Devyn? Devyn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you, after moving out of Palo Duro and into Porcupine Rim, resume your sexual relationship with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Were your sisters living there, or was there some kind of custody arrangement? Or was that later?
That was later.
Okay. So when you first move into Porcupine Rim, can you give us a date, a year, an approximate year, anything like that? And if you need to use the date of your dad's death, August 7th, 2023, as a point of reference counting back.
Probably 2020.
Probably 2020?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay. So you live at, can we agree that you live at Porcupine Rim at least a couple of years with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during this time frame, I'm going to ask you some very specific questions. Did there come a point in time when the family court became involved in the custody of the children?
Yes, sir.
Did Nikki lose custody of the children?
Yes, sir.
Was this before or after you married, if you remember?
After.
So after you married Nikki is when the custody thing happened.
Yes, sir.
Prior to that, were the girls living with you and Nikki at Porcupine Rim for however long you were living there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Dad, to your knowledge, is still living across town?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When Nikki lost custody of the children, did they move back in with your dad?
Yes, sir.
And to your knowledge, did they live out at the Palo Duro address?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how long they lived at Palo Duro with your dad?
No, sir.
Okay. Did there come a point in time in the summer months, just before your father's death, that the girls moved back in with you guys, you and Nikki at Porcupine Rim?
Yes, sir.
Did they stay over the summer?
Yes, sir.
Were there? Did they have bedrooms there?
Yes, sir.
And where were you sleeping at the time?
The master bedroom downstairs.
With Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were there times that you slept on the couch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did your sexual, intimate relationship continue throughout the course of this time period?
Yes, sir.
I hate to air out your laundry, like I said, but I just have to ask it. When you're having this sexual relationship with Nikki, is it a tumultuous relationship?
I don't know the definitions of it.
Okay. Is there a lot of kind of arguing and back and forth, or you describe it for me?
There was arguing back and forth.
Were there times in which you yourself were trying to get out of this relationship?
Yes, sir.
Describe that. How many times? What's going on in your head at this time?
That when I tried to fill some shoes that I had no business filling.
Whose shoes?
My father's.
Okay.
Fantastic. If we could just get a little bit closer to the... It's okay.
So you believe you said that you were trying to fill some shoes that you had no business filling. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
As a result of that, did you start to get a little uncomfortable and attempt to leave a couple of times?
Yes, sir.
Did there ever come a point in time, and I want to be precise here, prior to you learning of your dad's death, that you learned he was going to move in to the Porcupine Rim address?
Prior, no, sir.
So you didn't know he was going to move in prior?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you learn that at some point after?
I learned after the death when my grandmother was telling me about it.
Okay. Did you talk to your grandma like on the 7th?
The day after, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to now bring you to August 6th, okay, 2023. On that date, were you living at the Porcupine Rim address?
Yes, sir.
Were the girls living there?
Yes, sir.
Was Nikki living there?
Yes, sir.
Do you know or remember what you did during the day on August 6th?
I had woke up and I went to work, and I got a phone call from my grandfather saying that my dad was critically injured, and
Okay, let me clarify here. I'm talking about the day before you were notified.
I went to work.
Okay, so you work on the 6th.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what Nikki and the girls were doing that day?
No, sir.
Did there come a point in time after you get home from, oh, and I should ask you, did you drive a work van?
Yes, sir.
Is that the white one that was parked in front of the home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's another vehicle out front of the home. Whose was that? Not the Nissan Armada, but the little sedan.
Oh, that was my vehicle, sir.
Was that operable at the time?
Yes, sir.
And did you drive it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The night of August 6th, you get home from work. Do you remember a point in time where you saw your dad at the Porcupine Rim address?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
So I just got off of work. I was helping with the girls with their homework, and I believe I went into the garage and I saw my father bringing over a bunk bed and a desk for the girls, and his back was turned to me, so I closed the garage door.
So you didn't talk to him?
No, sir.
How was your relationship at that point in time?
We hadn't talked for a while.
At some point prior to that, had he learned that you had actually married Nikki?
Yes, sir.
How was that conversation, or if you had a conversation about it?
He sent me a text message asking or saying, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not right. And I responded with half of what you know is true and the other half isn't.
Okay. So your dad clearly knew you were formally married.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the date you got married?
No, sir.
Did you ever get divorced?
No, sir.
Is that something you would like to do?
After this, yes.
Okay. Once this trial is done?
Yes.
Okay. That night when you see your dad moving the girls' stuff into the garage, you don't talk?
No, sir.
Okay. What did you do after that? Did you just go back inside or what?
I went back inside and I continued watching the movie with the girls.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury kind of how the night progressed from there.
So I continued watching the girls, watching the movie with them, and Nikki had told me that she was going to go help John move some things, and I said okay. So I stayed at the house. We continued watching the movie, and I believe when the movie was over, I had put them down to bed, and I myself went to sleep.
Do you remember where you put them down to bed?
Yes, they had individual rooms upstairs. So I took them upstairs, I had them change into their pajamas, and then went to bed.
Okay. And then where would you have gone to sleep that night?
Downstairs in the master bedroom.
Do you remember texting Nikki saying something to that effect?
I remember texting her, letting her know that I had put the girls to sleep, and I myself am going to sleep because I was working next day.
You had work the next day?
Yes, sir.
What time did you typically work?
I believe it was 8 a.m. or 8:30.
Okay. So I'm not going to show you a text message, but you remember sending a text message. Do you
Yes, sir.
remember the time of that text message?
I believe it was 10 p.m.
Okay. And so after the text message is sent, do you remember receiving a response from Nikki, or you just go to bed?
I just went to bed.
And if I didn't ask you, where did you go to sleep?
Downstairs in the master bedroom.
The normal place you sleep.
Yes, sir.
When you went to bed, was Nikki home?
No, sir.
That would be why you sent her the text, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember waking up at any point after falling asleep that night?
I remember waking up around 2 to her getting into bed, and since I had work early in the morning, I didn't ask anything of it. I just looked over, I saw her, and I went back to sleep.
This was, to you, a normal night, right? You would have no reason to ask her anything, right?
No, because if they were moving things around, like they were just working through the night to try to get it all done.
Okay. When you looked over, did you see anything out of sorts about her? I mean, I understand it was a normal night for you, but like, did you observe anything that was different?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you go back to sleep after that around 2?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when you woke up the next morning?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
Around 6 a.m.
Tell the jury how that morning progressed.
I woke up around 6 a.m. and I got ready for work. I'm usually the first one that's up, so I got dressed and I went to work.
Do you remember seeing Nikki or the girls or anything that morning after you woke up?
No, sir.
Okay. And do you remember where your job was that day by chance?
I worked at Hometronics, so I was all over the place in my service.
Okay. And when you're working, do you drive the, work van?
Yes, sir.
When you're on your off days, do you drive the work van or the car?
The car.
Okay. So on this day, can we presume that you're driving the work van if you're doing a job?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I believe you said you work normally around 8:30.
Yes, sir.
At some point in time, do you get a phone call?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
It was a phone call from my grandfather saying that my father was critically injured and he's in the hospital.
Okay. Okay. When your grandfather tells you that, what do you do?
I proceeded to call my boss to take off of
And did you learn a little more information from another family member after that?
it. Yes, sir.
What was that?
That he had passed away, and I didn't get any information on how he actually passed away. It was just that he passed.
Okay. So initially, the first call, critically injured, but you tell your work, hey, I got to go. You learn after that he's passed.
Yes, sir.
I guess where do you go from work?
Straight on.
What do you do when you go home?
Started drinking.
Okay. Did you drink back then?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember, before you started drinking, if the girls or Nikki were home when you arrived home?
No, sir.
You don't remember, or they were not?
They weren't home.
They were not home?
No.
Okay. On that date, August 7th, do you continue drinking after learning of your dad's death?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the next time you saw Nikki?
I don't. I drank myself to sleep for the next couple of days.
Okay. So is it fair to say those couple days, August after learning that on August 7th and maybe into the 8th, maybe the 9th, you're drinking pretty consistently?
Yes, sir.
Is it a bit of a blur for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At some point in time, do you remember police coming to the Porcupine Rim home?
Yes, sir.
And did they come inside and they do a full search and everything?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what day that was?
No, sir.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions about items in your home. At the time you were working for Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had the work truck.
Yes, sir.
I presume you had some tools.
Yes, sir.
Were there times in which you had saws and stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
Do you normally carry a saw, or is that something you use for particular jobs, or how does that work?
I had a drywall saw inside my bag along with a screwdriver, a flathead, an electric drill, measuring tape, leveler.
Okay. Is there a safe inside your home, or was there back then?
Yes, sir.
What was that safe used for?
Guns.
Did you have guns?
Yes, sir.
How many do you have, or did you have back then?
3.
Are you you're allowed legally to possess guns, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have 3 guns. Are they handguns?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember having them on August 7th, or was this general around that time frame?
We've owned the guns for a while.
Okay. Did your dad have guns too?
No, sir.
Okay. So you had guns, your dad didn't?
No, sir.
At least to your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So try to give us any memory you have, but you don't remember the next time you saw Nikki, but you did see Nikki back at the home, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember her being there when the police came?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at least when we can figure out from the police when they showed up, you saw her then.
Yes, sir.
When is it that you have any conversation with her about your dad's passing?
I believe it was the night that I had found out. I was drinking heavily, and I believe she came home and said, "I'm sorry that this happened," and I kind of just wanted to be alone.
Okay. You eventually, during the course of that search of your home, you're interviewed by police, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that was recorded.
Yes, sir.
At some point in time, you give a lengthier interview, correct? An interview.
Oh, yes, sir.
And with that, you understand that was recorded as well.
Yes, sir.
You ultimately learn that Nikki is arrested, correct?
Yes, sir.
When is it, if you remember, that you learn she's arrested for the murder of your dad?
I want to say a week afterwards, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay. So somewhere in the range of a week or 2 weeks after the actual death.
Yes, sir.
In the interim, before she gets arrested and after your dad's death, do you remain at Porcupine Rim?
Yes, sir.
Do you question what happened to your dad?
Yes, sir.
Are there a lot of kind of unanswered questions you have during that time frame?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a point in time after her arrest that she contacted you from the detention center?
Yes, sir.
And Judge, we would move to admit 631, which is a recording of that contact.
Any objections?
No objection. Thank you.
631 will be a minute.
Permission to publish.
Yes, Commissioner.
Free call from an incarcerated individual at Henderson Detention Center. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Why the...
What?
What would you like to talk about?
I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get some information. They won't tell me anything. They put their call.
There's some news about you, and they're not very pleasant.
I was told they're holding me here while they look for evidence. Because they don't have any evidence. They have no murder weapon, no motive, no nothing. They're holding me here to find it.
I'm pretty sure that they started.
What?
You sound like you should have been released already.
I haven't gone to court yet. I go to court tomorrow.
Okay, well, I'm not doing this out for you. CPS at the girls. With my grandfather. Are you getting fingerprints so they can go with him and we might go with your grandparents? So will you get released tomorrow?
I should. That's what I'm hoping for. And that's literally what's going on. They have
Did you
absolutely,
ask what's going on?
yes, they have absolutely nothing on me. They said, they showed me a picture of a bottle of soft scrub cleaning detergent. And they said, you have one in your house. And I'm like, okay. They're like, well, this was used at his house. Like, you're fucking joking me, right? Like, that's literally what they showed me.
If you're getting released tomorrow, I'll leave with all.
So, I hear you're leaving. Can you go to California?
I'm literally planning on it because I'm supposed to leave. I'll leave in the article about speaking.
Oh, what about?
And one of those articles about you and what happened.
News article?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think you get released. I still don't know what to believe. I'm sorry. But, yes, I'm going to have one. And if you are getting released tomorrow, I'll leave it open. If not, then I have to do something with them. My grandmother's on the way ready to get close to the house. Okay.
You just started taking with you the news article about me and how literally nothing.
One was so bad and points that you did it. The second one was very graphic and still points that you did it. Like I said, if you're going to court and release you, I still don't know what to believe and I can't be here. Karen?
Devier, you mentioned a couple of news articles there.
Yes, sir.
When was it that you first learned of the graphic nature of what happened to your dad after his death?
I believe it was a day prior to the phone call that I was sent an article from the Las Vegas News explaining what had happened to my father and that she was involved in it.
At the end of that phone call, somebody hung up. Who did that?
She did.
When you were telling her, I'm leaving to California, I'll leave the dog, did you already plan when all this kind of madness started to break it off?
Yes, sir.
Was that essentially what the jury just heard, your breakup conversation?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember if you ever talked again after that?
We never talked to him after that.
Okay. Look at me. Did you kill your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in killing your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in what happened to his body after?
No, sir.
Pass witness.
Mr. Willette, my name is Robert Draskovich. My partner, Mike Horvath, and I represent your wife. You and I have never spoken, have we?
No, sir.
You've never spoken with my investigator, Ken Hardy, have you? Investigator?
No, sir.
No. So this is the first time that we're actually having an opportunity to communicate, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir, if you just get a little closer to that microphone. Thank you.
You had testified today, fair to say, for the first time, that you had a relationship with your wife that went years back.
Yes, sir.
You'd been asked that by a lot of people, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd been asked that before under oath, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't tell the truth, did you? Sir, you were given copies of your prior statements in preparation for your testimony today, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were. You're a smart man, aren't you?
No, sir.
And you reviewed those copies of your statements and your testimony, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because you wanted to be prepared for today, correct? I see.
Technically, speak up from the moment.
You would testify today that you learned of your father's death for the first time about 1 o'clock on August 7th, 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd said, I believe it was your grandfather?
Yes, sir.
Now, you were interviewed by police just shortly after that, correct?
No, sir.
You were interviewed at 2:35 p.m. August 7th by Detective Ozawa.
Yes, sir.
He came to ask about you, your wife, stuff what was going on in the house and at the other house, correct? The Paladera house.
Yes, sir.
He asked you how you got along with your father, and you told him we never really got along, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's a little bit different than what you testified to today, correct?
No, sir.
It's the same, or it's different?
It's the same. I worked with my father.
I'm sorry, and this low voice, you can speak up, please.
I worked with my father, so we bumped heads on all the things, but it doesn't mean that I didn't love my father.
Okay, but the question is, how do you guys get along? And your answer is, we never really got along, correct?
Only over work.
I'm sorry, sir, you have to speak up.
Only over work.
Only over work.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was just a few seconds after that that you said that you knew he was going to move in there, correct? And you didn't want to talk to him when he was at the house.
No, sir.
On August 6th. You don't recall telling the detective that? I mean, you have this transcript that I'm going to start referring to. You referred to it and you reviewed it before and to prepare for today's testimony, correct?
Yes, sir. I was told shortly after his death that he was going to move in. Then I didn't know prior to that.
Counsel, I'm referring to page 4. I'm sorry, I'll start on page 3. I did see him here when he was unloading everything into the garage, but I just didn't speak to him. You're asked, okay, is that you guys just don't get along or just? And then you stated, we never really did. And the detective says, okay. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you say, so not to cause any complications here, because I know he was going to move in here, I just didn't want to talk to him.
That was after the death.
But you're talking about, you saw him the day before, he's moving stuff in, and you're not going to talk to him because you know he's going to move in, and you guys don't get along. You were talking to the detective about what was going on in your head the day before, correct?
No, sir. I was told that they were moving the desk and a bunk bed into the house for the girls.
So when you're telling the detective on August 6th, I didn't go and talk to him because I never really got along with him. And I didn't want to cause any complications here because I know he was going to move in here. I just didn't want to talk to him. You're now under oath saying that meant something else?
No, sir. I'm answering the question. I was told after my father's death that he was going to move into the house, but I had no idea prior to that.
That's because you read your grand jury testimony, correct?
No, sir.
A little bit further down, same page. He wasn't really there for me. Correct? I mean, you had resentment for your father. Fair to say?
No, sir.
And then kind of realized who he was as a person. And when you were talking about moving out of Yoko's house, you said, I got out as soon as I could. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Page 5, you're asked, and then I guess, so your mom tells us that he was going to move in here. What's that arrangement? And you said she was going to tell me to move out, or she was going to give me some time, but he needed to get out of Yoko's house, and she was going to let him stay here. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you were going to move out, and you say, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're telling the detective who you speak to for the first time that you knew that Dad was pushing you out and that you were moving out of the house, correct?
I was told that the day before.
Oh, so now, you said before, until after your death, now you're agreeing you knew at least the day before that your dad was pushing you out of the house, correct?
No, I'm talking about the interview. So when I had the interview with Ozawa, that's when I found out everything prior to the interview.
But you're talking about not talking to him the day before because you know you don't want problems and you know that he's moving in.
That's right.
Page 6. So we don't get along. So she was giving me the heads up so I can move out. Correct?
No, sir.
You're saying no? And I won't misread anything. I mean, these are your words.
Can you repeat it?
So we don't get along. This is like the third time you're saying this. So she was going to give me that heads up so I can move out.
Yes, sir.
And then the detective asks, and this is the second thing about your marriage. He asks you about your marriage, correct? And you say, yeah, we're married.
Yes, sir.
Correct? And you tell the police officer that we're certified, but it's not like we're really. Because she has a whole bunch of health problems, all that stuff. Remember that conversation you had with the detective?
Yes, sir.
So he asked you, so it's just like worked out for like insurance, you're saying? And you say, well, not like anything bad, but like for the girls, correct?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't true, was it? What you were telling the detective after you're saying that you learned for the first time that your dad's been murdered, what you told him about your marriage wasn't true, was it?
I was also drinking that day, I don't remember.
You've read through this transcript. You agree with me that you appear to be pretty coherent, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you'd agree with me that the detective was kind of confused, and he's saying, well, wait a minute. She had kids with him, but you're his son, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it is clear Yoko didn't know, correct?
Yes, sir.
Page 7, detective asks again, trying to clarify this relationship and what's really going on. So he asks you, so I didn't know, but you're saying that you guys are married more out of convenience, not like you guys actually love each other. And you respond, yeah, we don't. It's not like that. It's out of convenience. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That was a lie, wasn't it?
No, sir.
So you're telling us that you were telling this detective the truth?
Yes, sir.
Then the detective asks you, but do you guys sleep in the same room? And you say no, correct?
Yes, sir.
You guys actually did sleep in the same room. You slept in the same bed, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
But when he asked if you two slept in the same room, you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then he asks you, are you guys intimate at all? And you say no, correct?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't true, was it?
No, sir.
Fair to say that you were downplaying your feelings for your wife when this detective came to ask you about the murder of your father.
Yes, sir, because I didn't know what actually happened to my father.
Please say it again.
Yes, sir, because I didn't actually know what happened to my father.
Okay. But you're lying to the police officer about your relationship with your wife, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the detective, page 8. Okay, so then you knew he was moving in, and she told you that you were going to have to move out. And your response recently, yes. It was kind of a short notice, but yeah. And I mean, I know the person he is, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it. That's what you said to the detective, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the detective follows up. Okay, and that's you were going to move out. Did he knew that you lived here, or didn't know that you lived here? And you respond, no, he knows I live here, correct?
My father?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
That lived in Vegas?
No, that lived in that house. The detective asked him, does he know that you live here? And you say, yeah, he knows I live here, correct?
Yes, sir.
You did confirm that you knew that she was going over there to your dad's house with the girls, correct?
Yes, sir. That was the joint custody that they had.
Yeah. And the detective, confirming that you know that he's moving in and that you're going out, asks, why was he moving out of the other house? And you said, because they all they do is scream and yell. When I was over there, my grandma would go downstairs at 6 a.m. yelling at him for the car payment, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also say, I think my grandma was kicking him out, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's true. And trust me, I'm not going to tell you anything you didn't say, okay? I'm not trying to trick you. You're asked, page 10 by Detective Ozawa, bottom of the page. Okay, so then, how long has, I guess, it been planned for them to move John in over here? Your response, I have no idea. Like, it was ran by me that, because we all know how he is. And it's like, okay, if he's moving in here, and if he's going to be homeless, I get it. I can move out and go somewhere, because I have a legitimate job, correct?
Yes, sir.
So this isn't some one-off. You repeatedly confirmed to Detective Ozawa that your dad was moving in and that you were moving out, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you had the legitimate job, correct?
We both had legitimate jobs.
You had a good job.
His job was better than mine.
He was a mover, part-time, correct?
He did everything.
Your grandmother was always angry at him because she owed him money. Fair?
Fair.
But you had a steady job at Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you had the good, legitimate job that you were the one getting kicked out, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you go on to state that you're a technician for Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you do security systems, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you install entertainment systems.
Yes, sir.
You told the officer that you'd been doing that for about 2.5 years. Fair?
Yes, sir.
You were asked again by Detective Ozai, well, since you knew you were moving out, where are you going to move into? Where are you going to move to? And you tell him, and this is page 12, counsel. Yeah, like I have some friends down the street that I could roommate with. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That made you angry, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you've been in this house with your wife, your dad's moving in, and you have to leave. You're telling us that didn't make you angry?
No, sir.
Now, today you testified that you'd worked the day before, August 6th, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you were actually off the day before, correct? You didn't work on August 6th.
I was drinking a lot. I don't remember.
But you would first tell the police officer, yeah, I worked yesterday, but then...
Sir, I'm gonna have to have you to speak up. The jury's having a hard time.
Sorry about that.
Is that better? Okay.
If you could just please repeat your answer. Trust me, I'm not trying... If you could speak up, please, and just repeat that last answer.
I was drinking a lot and I don't remember.
But you actually made the same mistake and initially told him I was working yesterday, but then you corrected yourself, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you really weren't drinking that much. Because you at first said, well, I worked yesterday, and then you said, oh, actually, you know what? It was my day off. Correct? Sundays are your days off.
That was 10 years ago, and I was drinking very heavily for my father's death. So I don't.
Okay. But sir, this conversation occurred August 7th, 2023. All right?
Sorry.
Or, I mean, you do... Fair to say, it hasn't been that long, has it?
Not 10 years.
In reference to the day before, August 6th, and you seeing them moving in, okay, because you actually didn't work the day before. You said, I heard the door open. I thought one of the girls opened the door, so I came down and looked out and saw him unloading stuff. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever. So I closed the door, just didn't hear it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And at this point in time, you tell the detective that you actually don't have a room in the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
But that wasn't true. I mean, you were sleeping with your wife in the same bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said that your guy is a hot-tempered guy, correct?
Yes, sir.
His father.
Okay, you said your guy.
Yeah. You said he's like a hot-tempered guy, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said he had no filter, that kind of a guy.
Yes, sir.
You were asked, okay, so when you left Yoko's house, and that was a couple of years before, correct?
Yes, sir.
How often do you talk to him? And your answer was not at all, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the detective says, oh, and you say nothing. I mean, you say nothing, correct? Meaning you guys don't talk.
After he found out that we were married, we didn't talk after that.
Detective asks you, he didn't call you or nothing, and you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
No text, nothing like that, and you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
The detective then asks you about you speaking with him a couple of months ago, and what did that entail? Like, what were you guys doing at that point? You correct him and say, I didn't say I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the detective says, I thought you said the last time you spoke with, like actually talked to him, was a couple of months ago. And you say, well, like it was probably years, correct?
Yes, sir.
You say, he doesn't call me on my birthday, not on Happy New Year's, like none of that. So not Thanksgiving, so we just didn't talk, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you're asked by the detective, counsel is on page 18, is there anything you can think of that you haven't told me that you think might be important for us to know? And you say, correct?
Yes, sir.
So they're there trying to figure out this dynamic, and you've lied to them about the relationship that you have with your wife, and you've lied to them about the living arrangement where you're getting kicked out by your father, correct? He's moving you out.
Yes, sir, because I didn't know what exactly had happened.
You did say that it was kind of a shit show at the other house, correct?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't the first time that you had discussed issues concerning this dynamic, correct? Concerning your wife, you, your father, the moving arrangements, correct? You were interviewed another time, correct? By another officer. And you reviewed that in preparation, the transcript, in preparation for your testimony today.
Yes, sir.
That interview occurred September 12th, 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this detective now, after speaking to you, and it's a little bit into the interview, tells you, well, you know, you weren't the main suspect. You know what I mean? This is, meaning the situation is a little different than hers. We're here to, you didn't do it, to clear you, correct? You recall that conversation?
When was this again?
I'm sorry?
When did this conversation happen again?
September 12th, 2023.
Yes, sir.
Remember that? I mean, you're there being interviewed concerning being a potential suspect. And you remember the date, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're being told now that we're working to clear you, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were relieved, fair to say?
Yes, sir.
The detective asks you, does that make sense? And you say it does, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the detective says, while the chances of you even being there are so slim that it's just there's that's not even on the radar, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you had told law enforcement that you weren't close to Devyn. You didn't really have a real marriage. And things aren't that bad with your dad, and you're basically being told, hey, it's good. You're good, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you're left there sitting for a little while, and the room's being recorded, and you say, this is going to be a fucking Netflix series, correct?
I don't remember.
If I told you that you said that, would you have any reason to disagree with me?
I'm just letting you know I don't remember.
Okay.
Sir, you can just keep it.
Oh, sorry.
And before I forget, and I'm sorry for going back, but there was some discussion with Detective Ozawa about the problem the morning, August 7th, about your wife trying to register the girls. Your dad was supposed to have registered them, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's because they were moving into the house, and the girls were starting at that school, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's again a confirmation that you knew. You knew that they were moving into the house. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You testified before a grand jury, a little different room, but you were put under oath and you were called as a witness on September 14th, just a couple days after that last interview, correct?
Yes, sir.
And under oath, you testified, like you did initially today, that you were unaware that your father was moving into the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that it was something that you had learned after your father's death, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that there were no discussions about you potentially moving out, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, that's exactly what you said, no, sir. There was never a discussion and you said no, sir, but there was. There were multiple discussions, correct?
So that I can remember, yes.
You were asked, were you estranged from your father? And you said, we didn't get along, correct?
Only while working, sir, yes.
I'm sorry?
Only while we worked together.
So you're still saying you guys got along just fine, but it was just work related?
Anytime I was with him, I had a good time.
I see. But you guys don't text, you don't call, correct?
Not after he found out I was married.
Today, now that she's on trial, you testified that you woke up at 2 o'clock on the morning of the 7th and she was in bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
But when you testified to the grand jury, you testified that you never woke up at all, correct? I'm referring to page 17, 18.
Yes, sir.
So your testimony is different again today on that point, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because obviously you waking up is kind of a big deal, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you were actually awake at 2 a.m. on the 7th, weren't you?
I woke up to her getting in bed, and I looked over at her and saw that she got in bed, and I rolled back over and went to sleep.
You had been calling her that night from the home phone, correct? Well, she's with your dad.
We don't have a home phone.
Testimony is that you don't have a home phone. All right. So it's your testimony that you didn't call over and over again?
I believe I sent a text and she didn't reply, and then that's when I put the girls to sleep and I went to sleep myself.
But that wasn't the only night that she was out with your dad. She was with your dad till like 1 a.m. the night before, correct?
Possibly moving things, yes.
So 2 nights in a row, she's with your dad and she's not home, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, through the course of your grand jury testimony, you are asked by a grand juror, because unlike this, I mean, grand jurors can ask you questions, correct? I mean, that was your understanding. They spoke to you.
Yes, sir.
You were asked how long you and Devyn had been married, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you answered 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And then there's some follow-up questions. Just like to ask you a couple more questions about that. Did you and Devyn... I'm sorry, page 35. Did you and Devyn get married in the traditional sense? And you answered, yes, it was more of me helping out with the girls when she couldn't find a babysitter. so I figured, well, we both kind of sat and talked about it. When she has to go to work and can't find a babysitter, I could be there. She also had a whole bunch of medical problems, and it was very expensive to keep the girls at daycare, and she's sitting in the hospital, so I would normally be there to watch them. And then there's a question, okay, and I'm sorry to ask, was an intimate relationship that you were in with Devyn at some point? And your testimony under oath to this grand jury on this day was, yes, after the first year it started to get intimate, correct?
Yes, sir.
After the first year of marriage it started to get intimate, correct?
Objection, it does not say that.
The context of the question, I've read it, it speaks for itself.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the jury can determine what the context is. You just need to read the verbatim. So that objection will be sustained.
And if I may just read then for the record, I mean, this is prior testimony.
This is from the grand jury.
Correct.
What page are you on?
Page 35. I'll start at line 15, page 35, by juror. How long have you and Devyn been married? Answer, 3 years. Question. If I could ask you just a couple more questions about that, did you and Devyn get married in the traditional sense? Yes. Answer. But it was more of me helping out with the girls when she couldn't find a babysitter. So I figured, well, we both kind of sat and talked about it. When she has to go to work and can't find a babysitter, I could be there. She also had a whole bunch of medical problems, and it's very expensive to keep the girls at a daycare when she's sitting in the hospital, so I would normally be there to watch them. Question. Okay. And I'm sorry to ask, was it an intimate relationship that you were in with Devyn at some point? Yes. After the first year, it started to get intimate. Next question. Did it remain intimate up until the time of your father's death? Yes. You're getting closer to the truth of the nature of your relationship the farther it is that you get away from perhaps being charged with his murder. Fair to say?
Can you repeat the question?
You're getting more and more truthful concerning the nature of your relationship with Devyn the further it gets away from your having been charged or being charged. Fair to say?
Yes, sir.
You testified today that you didn't remember the date that you married her, correct? Your testimony that you don't remember marrying her on December 21st, 2021?
No, sir.
Are these in stipulated? Yeah, thank you. There'll be exhibit numbers, but I'm going to show you some pictures, okay? And these were taken from your phone. From his phone.
Are those stipulated too?
Yeah, we have no objection. We just want a copy because
Absolutely.
we've just seen them. But
Okay.
I think we do for.
Objecting to this stack?
Correct. I think.
Okay, well, let's just make the record.
Yes.
Where are the
Yes, they put them on.
numbers?
This is L3. It's been marked by your clerk. He was ahead of me, so thank you.
Right, but I think she just tell me what it is, so we can put it on the record.
Okay. L3.
It's L3?
Yeah. Is that L3?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so L3, well, Mr. Dressel, what's it, if the whole packet's being stipulated to, let's just erase the packet now, and then
Okay.
you can show any ones you want.
Okay.
Okay, so L3 to what?
Hang on just a second. A3 to S3.
Okay, A3 to S3 is an eventual search situation that eventually published in law.
And in the interest of time, and since these will go back, I'm not going to go through each and every one of them.
I don't think so.
If we could please-
In the front.
Right here?
Yeah.
Remember that date?
I remember the day.
Okay. But you do remember marrying her, correct?
Yes, sir.
Remember this?
Yes, sir.
Now, what exhibit was that?
This is exhibit K3. And we're going to be showing you L3. Remember this?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, fair to say you and she had a traditional marriage, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I mean, obviously it was a fairly passionate relationship, wasn't it?
It got weird, yeah.
I mean, for good and bad, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, she had sent you a text just days before this case began about get out of the house. Do you recall that? Get your stuff. Don't think of coming back. I want a divorce.
I don't remember anything like that.
And you're still married to her, correct?
Yes, sir.
After things went down in this case, you moved to California, correct?
Yes, sir.
Through the course of your marriage to her, you wore a wedding ring, didn't you?
In my time in Vegas, yeah.
And she wore a wedding ring too, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was a symbol of the commitment that you had to each other, correct? Rings are.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what's been admitted, Defense Exhibit B3. That was the ring that she wore, correct?
Yes, sir.
You worked at Hometronics and you had tools, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were good at installing home security systems, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had hundreds of pictures on your phone of various systems that you installed, correct?
Yes, sir. After I was done with the job, I had to upload it to the Hometronics website to prove that I got the job done.
And Your Honor, this is Defense Exhibit. It's like B1 through V2. We're moving through the admission. These are just images of security systems.
B1 through B2.
I'm sorry.
B1 through
B1 through
V2.
V2.
Oh, no objection.
Okay, B1 through V2 will be admitted.
And in going through these security systems, you obviously were conscientious of the angles, correct?
So I always ask how we set the camera up, and I would ask the customer to pull it on their phone and let me know what angle they would like it to be.
So you're familiar with security cameras and what they picked up and what they didn't.
Yes, sir.
And there's going to be a stack of these, but I'll just show you just for, like, Defense Exhibit K2. And we've got one right here. You can see that, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what type of camera that is, correct?
A ring camera?
All right. Showing you Defense Exhibit D2. You got the ladder up on this. This is an exterior camera. You installed that one, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what kind of camera that is, correct?
That's
I mean, you were good at what you did, correct?
Yes, sir.
And installing the home entertainment systems, I mean, you need a Sawzall. You cut through 2x4s, you cut through drywall, things like that, correct?
Not 2x4s, it was just drywall.
Okay. But you had tools, you had saws, you had electric powered saws, correct?
No, just a drywall saw. That was in my bag.
Okay.
For doing in-wall kits for TVs.
All right. And it's your testimony, Mr. Giordani asked you, it's your testimony that you didn't kill your father, is that correct?
I did not kill my father.
You left your home that night, didn't you?
Objection, what night?
The night of the 7th, early morning hours of August 7th, correct?
2023.
2023.
To go to work?
No. You left the house in the dark, at 2 a.m., correct?
No, sir.
You'd been on your phone. You were looking at pictures of you and Devyn, correct?
I don't remember.
You left that home. You went to the Palo Verde residence, didn't you? The Palo Verde residence.
No, sir. If you're talking about the night that my father was murdered,
Yeah.
I was home with the girls. We watched a movie. I put them to sleep. I received a text her letting her know that I put them to sleep, and I went to sleep myself.
And that's your testimony under oath, correct?
Yes, sir.
Like the testimony under oath that you've given to the grand jury previously, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'll agree with me that you'll lie under oath if it fits you.
No, sir. I became a very big alcoholic out there.
Okay.
So it's a little fuzzy, but I will answer truthfully to what I do.
But you'd agree with me that you were an alcoholic before that day and you had a drinking problem, correct? Before August 7th, 2023.
Yes.
In fact, it became a really big point of contention between you and your wife, correct?
Yes.
The actions, correct? Things that you do, correct? She'd send you texts. I mean, she'd get angry about that, correct?
Yes, sir.
She'd tell you that you were turning into your father. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
And you resented that part of your father, didn't you? Because he did the same thing, correct?
No, sir.
And you'd agree with me that when you drink, you do things that you wish you didn't, correct?
Other than maybe throw up, no, sir.
It affected your judgment, didn't it?
No, sir.
Affects your memory, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions, but thank you.
Can you read the rest of it?
Yes. Bear with me, Devier. I just got a few more questions. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I want to clarify a couple of things. So, Mr. Draskowitz started his questioning by asking you if you'd ever talked to him or his investigator or anything like that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Since after that jail call we heard, you moved to California, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've maintained a job out there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Living a normal, or I guess relatively normal life.
Yes, sir.
You traveled here after we contacted you and said this trial's coming up and we need you to testify as a witness, correct?
Yes, sir.
You came here willingly.
Yes, sir.
You didn't make me go arrest you to bring me here, correct?
No, sir.
We flew you out and you came and you brought your girlfriend for support, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your girlfriend's the young lady sitting in the back of the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Is it easy for you to talk about your personal sexual life in front of all these strangers and that big old camera right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me tell the jury. Was this a dynamic, untraditional relationship?
At first, it was just to help with my sisters, and things got a little weird, so in the beginning, no, and then at the end, yes.
Okay, and I'm not just talking about the marriage. I'm talking about since you were a 19-year-old kid having sex with your father's ex, or I guess live-in girlfriend at the time. You would agree that's not traditional.
Absolutely not. Yes.
You would agree that's not tradition.
Yes, sir.
You would agree that, you know, it's not the best look to do what you did.
Yes, sir.
Are you embarrassed of that?
Yes, sir.
But it happened, and you're acknowledging that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that sexual relationship went on for an extended period of time.
Yes, sir.
Without going through all these exhibits, you would acknowledge and you understand that the detectives took your phone and took a whole bunch of other phones, correct?
Yes, sir.
And before you even took the stand in front of these people today, you know that we, all these lawyers, have access to your most personal, intimate conversations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you doing your best to recall 2 years ago, back to 8 years ago, in front of this jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you say, sitting on the stand today, you say, I believe I worked on August 6th. Is that what you believe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Draskevich made a big point of this, and I want to address it real quickly. Page 13 of the voluntary statement, counsel. This is about working the day before. Actually, it's bottom of page 12. The detective asks you, okay, is that what time you got off? And I'm going to be exactly precise with the words from this transcript, okay?
Yes, sir.
You respond, sometimes a little earlier. The detective asks, is that what time you got off yesterday? You respond, I got off yesterday at about, wait now, today's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday, right? And the detective responds, yeah. Then you respond, yeah, I didn't work yesterday. Does that sound accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I can show you this at any point if you need to see it. My point is, and my question is, on August 7th, you learned your father died from your grandfather, correct?
Yes, sir.
You have, you were at work and then you go home and you start drinking, correct?
Yes, sir.
You learn a little bit later that it's not like a natural death and there are police involved, correct?
Yes,
There
sir.
are police showing up to your house, they're searching it, they're talking to Nikki, Devyn, they're talking to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You acknowledged with defense counsel earlier, you were not entirely truthful about the depth of your relationship with Nikki, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Explain to this jury, let them look at you and say, why is it that you were not entirely truthful about your relationship with Nikki on the day one?
I wasn't entirely truthful with our relationship because I didn't know that my father was murdered, and I didn't want anybody to find out that. I tried to fill some shoes that I shouldn't be filling.
Okay. So, do you even know at the time you're giving this interview that Nikki was a potential suspect?
I was unaware for the whole thing. I just didn't know why the cops were in the house.
Okay. Did there come a point in time in the intervening or the days after August 7th where you start to suspect she had something to do with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that easy for you to come to that understanding?
Absolutely not.
Okay. She was your wife. She is your wife.
Yes, sir.
You cared for 2 children together. You had a lot of sexual history with this person, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you want to see her go to jail or get arrested for this?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, and I should clarify. In the days where you're just suspecting and you're still kind of figuring out what's going on, did you want her to go to jail and lose her kids for this?
Once I found out after the news article, yes.
Okay, so once you find out what actually happened to your dad and you presume she did it, you want her to go to jail. Fair.
Yes, sir.
But before that, you're not in any of this interviews blaming it on her, correct? We agree there.
Yes, sir.
You're not saying she must have done it. You're just giving history.
Yes, sir.
You minimize your relationship. We can agree.
Yes, sir.
Okay. With regard to the questioning Mr. Draskovich went through with the when you learned your dad was moving into the Porcupine Room address. I want to talk about this for a moment. Before I get into the transcript, as you sit here right now, when is it that you think you learned that your dad was moving into the residence?
It was talked about before. I drank a lot. According to the paper, I did know about it apparently, but
Okay.
I didn't think it was actually going to happen.
Okay. So, and bottom of page 8. I'm going to read verbatim. You are asked about line 300, counsel. Okay, so then you knew he was moving in and she told you that you were going to have to move out, period. You respond, recently, yes. It was kind of a short notice, but yeah, period. And, period, I mean, period, I know the person he is, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it, period. They then ask, okay, and you were going to move out. Did he knew that you lived here or didn't know that you lived here? You responded, no, he knew I lived there. Detective says, and then, ... and you continue and you say, but since I didn't talk to him and she was going over there for the girls and him, I kind of stayed away. I guess they would talk about it and she ran it by me. I drink a lot, so she ran it by me apparently, and I was gonna move out for a short period of time until he got on his feet and I was gonna come back. Does that sound accurate? Do you dispute what is in the statement?
Yes, sir.
Does it sound accurate?
Yes, sir.
You're not disputing what's in the statement.
No, sir.
So even back then, you're telling them, like, I drink a lot. She apparently told me this.
Yes, sir.
As you sit here right now, do you 100% remember when you learned your dad was going to move in?
No, sir.
Okay. Had you known beforehand, before his death, would that have caused you to fight him, hurt him, kill him?
No, sir.
Would you have had any reason to kill him?
No, sir.
Did you want out of this relationship with Nikki at varying points of time?
Yes, sir.
And so had your dad moved in and you've been told you got to go stay at a buddy's house or move out or whatever, would that have been a big deal for you at the time?
Absolutely not.
All right. Thank you, Devyn. I pass it to Mr.
Continue with brief round, Mr. Winchell.
Yes. This whole issue about the sexual relationship that you had with Devyn, beginning when you were 19, you didn't speak to the prosecutor or anybody about that until yesterday, correct?
Yes, sir.
You watched this opening statement, didn't you? Our opening statement where we laid out what was in the phones. Isn't that right?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, you watched the opening statement in this case, didn't you?
What was the opening statement in this case?
You don't know what an opening statement is or the opening statement?
I don't record a lot.
I see. So she's on trial, you're in California or you're getting here, and you didn't watch this?
I seen a YouTube video.
Then you talked to the prosecutor about these issues, correct? So you watched the YouTube video, you watched the opening statement, correct? And you adjusted, isn't that right?
What do you mean by adjusted?
You received a couple of texts from your father. (10/24/2022). You have nothing to tell me? WTF. I thought you were my seed. If what I know, I can't fuck with you. And he sent you another one a moment after that. Devil shit, correct? I have no further questions.
Anybody want to say it?
What YouTube video did you see and when did you see it?
It was earlier in the year. I think it was about the custody case. It wasn't about this one.
Okay, so that line of questioning just now was a bit misleading, so let me clarify something.
I'd object. The question was clear. It's whether it's his answer, I think, is misleading. So.
Mr. Giordani's objection, Mr. Giordani's characterization is going to be sustained. Mr. Giordani, if you think something needs to be clarified for this jury, you can ask a clarifying question.
Okay. So the way, maybe I mischaracterized or misunderstood the question. I thought the question was, did you watch a YouTube video last night of the opening statement that happened in this trial?
No, sir, I'm sorry. The video that I had witnessed was over the custody case, I believe.
Yeah, like months ago, correct?
Yeah, earlier this year.
Did you watch any footage from this trial before hitting the stand?
No, sir.
Okay. So what you're testifying to is not based on something Mr. Draskovich said yesterday or the day before. Because you wouldn't know what he said, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when we met last night, I told you, I'm not going to tell you what anybody said in court. I want to hear the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I said the most important thing is to tell the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing that?
Yes, sir.
Pass witness.
Any follow-up, Mr. Justice?
You're capable of not quite telling the truth when it's to your benefit. Fair to say?
I just didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I see. You reviewed those transcripts prior to your testimony today, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you spoke with investigators from the district attorney's office in preparation for this trial, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
They went through what your testimony was going to be. They went through what your statements were going to be, correct?
Yes, sir.
They provided you transcripts of your prior statements, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't until last night that you talked about having this sexual relationship with your wife. About 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
And just last night's the first time you talked about it. Just so we're clear, correct?
Talk to him.
To the prosecutor about this relationship that you had with Devyn. Last night was the first time, correct?
Well, he is Devyn.
Yeah, but no, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. But
It's okay.
with Devyn, you spoke with Mr. Giordani last night for the first time, correct? About your relationship with Devyn Michaels. Going back to 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any follow-up?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got to clarify. Just so everyone understands, you testified at a prior proceeding where I questioned you, the grand jury thing that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, sir.
And you talked about the relationship and you said it was sexual after the first year and it went up and until your dad's death.
Yes, sir.
That's back in September of 23.
Yes, sir.
Last night, you flew in out of state, you came with your girl, and you met with us with a witness present, a guy with a badge. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I don't know if it was meant to be suggested this way, but what I heard was they told you what to say or something like that?
I object to that. No, I didn't. That wasn't my question. So that was
Okay.
not okay.
So we asked you questions, correct?
Yes.
And I told you I can't tell you anything that's happened in court. That would be unethical, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I told you to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
Pass witness.
Any follow-up, Mr. Justice?
Just so we're clear, I'm not accusing him of any wrongdoing. I'm just saying yesterday was the first time that you had a discussion about having a relationship with your wife, a sexual relationship, from the time you were 19, correct?
No, No, sir. It sounds like I was already interviewed about it and I talked about it.
I read you your grand jury transcript. No, that was in the context of your marriage. You never testified before the grand jury about having a sexual relationship with your wife that began when you were 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions.
No, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury have any questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response. Sir, you are excused. Thank you very much for your testimony here today.
Good afternoon.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And now, could you please state your full name and then spell it for the record?
Yes, it's Carrie, Kari. Last name Skinner, Skinnner. Excuse me. Good afternoon.
What do you do for a living?
I work for the City of Henderson Police Department as a detective.
How long have you been with the city of Henderson in total?
It'll be 10 years in January.
And in which unit are you currently assigned as a detective?
Robbery homicide.
How long have you been with robbery homicide?
It'll be almost 3 years and 6 years as a detective.
And prior to robbery homicide, where were you assigned?
Special Victims Unit.
And what does special victims unit entail?
Basically, Special Victims Unit will investigate anything to do with child abuse, sexual assaults, things of that nature.
And in homicide, do you respond to scenes with a team?
Yes, I do.
With regard to this particular incident, did you respond to a scene on August 7, 2023 at 2698 Paladura Drive?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember around what time you responded?
I believe that was roughly 8:40 in the morning.
And did you respond with anyone else?
I did. My fellow detectives, one of them being Detective Ozawa.
When you responded to the scene, was it already static and shut down by patrol guys?
That's correct.
When you responded to the scene, did you immediately go in, or did you do a couple things outside before?
No, there's always a few things we do before we go in and do a walkthrough.
One of those a briefing?
Correct.
So you kind of know what's going on and what's happened before you got there?
Yes,
In addition to that, you need to get a search warrant, ultimately to search the home.
that's correct.
You mentioned a walkthrough. What does that mean?
So the on-scene supervisor has already gone inside with his officers. They've already had a little peek of what the scene looks like inside and what we're going to be dealing with, and they've collected information before we get there. That would be the field interviews of any on-scene witnesses, other victims, anybody that's relevant to the investigation, and then they will provide that to us, and then we go in and do the walkthrough.
During the course of your walkthrough, was it notable that there were some things missing from the scene?
Yes,
Such as?
the decedent's head.
Okay. In addition to that, were any weapons found that could have caused his death?
Not that were glaringly apparent at that time.
Okay, sure. There were probably some steak knives in the kitchen, et cetera, but nothing that was within our scene.
That's
generally.
correct.
Did you stay on scene there after the search was conducted?
I apologize. No, I actually went over to the secondary scene, which was on Porcupine Rim.
Okay. So when you go to Porcupine Rim, still on August 7th,
Correct.
did you respond there with Detective Ozawa?
Yes, I did.
Did you make contact with some individuals who were either witnesses or suspects?
At that time, there were some individuals that were persons of interest. However, there were some residual people that we needed to contact that were family members.
Were a couple of those family members two small children?
Yes, they were.
And with your specialized training and kind of history with special victims, did you make contact with them?
I did.
Did you speak to them?
I did.
Did you do it in a big formal interview setting, or just like kind of get on their level and talk to them as kids?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do what's called a child forensic interview, which is a very directed interview. It has guidelines for children, no leading or anything like that, and it has a very strict protocol on how you begin the interview, how you end it, and how you conduct yourself during that interview. Unfortunately, I was not able to provide that level of interview just based on the children's behavior at that time.
Were they kind of all over the place?
To put it politely, yes, they were very active young ladies.
Okay. Did you ask them a couple of questions, just kind of information gathering?
I did. There was a little bit of rapport building. What's your favorite toy? And they're involved. So you want to make them feel comfortable. There's a lot of strangers in their home. So I did my best to make them feel comfortable. And there was some conversations that were had with them.
Did you, did they specifically say anything about a person by the name of Devyn?
Yes.
What did they say?
They refer to him as someone that takes care of them.
Yeah.
They also referred to the fact, when in passing, as we were talking to them about being in the home, there were conversations being had around them, and it did come up that Devyn had watched them the night prior.
So Devyn had been home the night prior, according to the girls.
Correct.
Okay. At some point in time, did you have an opportunity before the home is actually searched to interview a person by the name of Devyn or Nikki?
Yes, I did.
What name did you know her by at that point in time?
At that point, it was Devyn.
Okay. Do you see that person in court today?
I do.
Can you please point to that person, describe something she's wearing today?
Yes, she's sitting over here at this table, and she's wearing a light-colored, looks like a floral blouse.
Would the record reflect identification of the defendant?
The record so reflects.
Did you record that interview with the defendant?
Yes.
And where was that interview conducted?
That interview was conducted inside Detective Ozawa's unmarked detective vehicle.
Your Honor, I would move to admit 619, interview number 2.
Any objection to 619?
No objection.
All right, 619, will you admit it?
And again, this is an interview conducted before going in to search Porcupine Room, correct?
That's correct.
It's August 7th, 2023, approximately 15:08 hours, and my name is Johnathan Willette, PD, badge number 1531. Also here is Detective Skinner, badge number 63. And we're here speaking again with Devyn Michaels. So you already kind of talked about stuff.
Yeah. So exactly, we have, but we'll recap real quick, is that last night when we left, the garage door was open a couple feet, and it shoved something underneath, and then exited out the front door to go around the road.
Yeah,
Correct?
because everything else I took out the front door,
Okay.
and that was like the last thing I was doing.
Okay.
Is that your voice?
It is.
A little lighter. It sounds like you're a little further from the microphone.
Yes, I'm in the back seat of the vehicle.
Okay, and you said something to the effect of, we talked a little bit before this recording started.
Yes.
And then I believe what I heard was the defendant said she left the Paladura home and the garage was open, she slid something under it, and then she herself exited out the front. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, we're going to resume.
And then another thing that you and I spoke about is that you did notice some cleaning materials that were downstairs by the bathroom and the laundry room.
Yeah.
And you described that as being jug, and it was like something.
It was like this, and I think it was yellow.
It's almost like a milk jug size, so a little bit smaller.
Yeah. I just, like I said, because I wasn't really paying attention to pay attention, it was just random stuff that was all over the house. Like,
And it's a pretty clean house.
he usually cleans when he knows we're showing up. So, like, there'd be dog mess and stuff like that. So he tries to clean when we come home down.
And also even too, but it would be really to say that it was me and that job. And then we also discussed that his ex was due to be in town anytime. And that last night, the ring that he would wear as I was in the wedding ring, he said to you that he threw it away.
Yeah.
Okay.
We kind of made a joke of it, 2 points, do it in the trash type thing.
Okay. So, and he would call his anchor friends.
Yeah, Andrea.
You would call her twice, but you're not sure if they're married or not.
No, I know they weren't married, but yeah, it was just.
Okay. Well, I guess he's something at the bell's back.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I know, like I said, they were together for a few years. Since 2018, I would say, is when they first got together.
And when they broke up, she kind of moved around. You mentioned Arizona, Utah.
I think he's at Oregon one time.
And you believe that she's in Utah right now?
I think so. He said is like off the grid type of living. So.
But you're not looking for your living, she said bodies to each other.
Get that, yeah. Because it was kind of awkward talking to
Your exes. And the last time you spoke to him, as well as his mother, was last night, just before you left, so we're cleaning up like how the alcohol containers and stuff.
Right.
You mentioned putting a pina colada and a Jameson bottle in the fridge, and his mom had the way to steak.
Right, we were just like randomly cleaning up the different things.
And where was he?
Smoking in the garage.
And was he smoking marijuana, cigarettes?
Marijuana. He smokes the cigarettes in the backyard usually, and the marijuana in the garage. I'm not sure why the difference, but.
So when you left, was he still left the vape around? Where was he?
In the garage.
Okay, so did you take a Bible and all that stuff, pushed out the box?
And then I just went out the front door.
Detective, is the defendant saying that when she left, Johnathan was up and moving in the garage?
Yes.
No, ma'am. No, I went and picked up my daughter's prescription first. Yeah, because I wanted to make sure we had it for her first day of school. Yeah, he was only in boxers when I left, because usually when I leave, he walks me out and everything. But since he wasn't really dressed.
And how would you rate his level of intoxication when you got away last night? Like if it's on a 10 scale, like 10 being the most ridiculous you've ever seen it, 0 being none.
No, I think he was buzzed, but I couldn't say he was way over the top now.
So maybe middle somewhere.
Yes. Like I've seen him much worse.
Okay, so he was functioning.
But I know he was still drinking, so I don't know how much he drank after.
Anytime did you tell his mom he was sleeping or something alone?
I told her that I told him to go to sleep, but that was like when he was done to like sleep it off. Well, I think when she was done cleaning, she just, because we had finished talking and she went upstairs.
And you mentioned that while he's frequently you guys come over and he shut the dog door so the dogs aren't begging for food or watches and stuff. And that gave that up last night.
Yes.
So when you left, do you remember if the dog door was still down?
I know the dogs were outside. I don't know if the dog door was still down because they only had that little flap. But they were outside when I left.
So just a couple points. So talking to Debbie here, so it's kind of just an odd dynamic, you know, that you guys have. So it was basically kind of confusing, you know, when we're talking to Yoko. It doesn't sound like she knows.
She doesn't know that we are married like that. She just thinks that we are living here because we don't really want everybody kind of in our business because it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get that. Just like I was just saying, 'cause I talked to Yoko and I talked to you, it was like, that we didn't realize that you and Debbie were married, but like, you guys been married for 2 years, you said.
Almost 2 years, but Yoko does not know that.
But are you guys, talking to Debbie here, it's kind of like, it sounds like you guys got married, but not because you guys like love each other.
You know, it's this convenience. Like, I have a lot of medical issues and he's been taking care of me and the girls.
Like, so what was your reason for getting married to Debbie?
Because legally, as my spouse, he has more rights and access to things than someone just as a grandma.
So like pick up prescriptions, other
He can
things.
do anything as my spouse. He actually, I had to go into the hospital in an ambulance and he's the one that took care of all of that.
Okay. So are you guys like intimate together? No. Does he sleep in your room?
Sometimes, like he'll fall asleep when we watch TV, but he usually sits on the couch.
And right there, in there. See, you guys aren't really, when you say married, you're not dating, and you're not doing stuff together, you're not intimate together, things like that.
You know, and that's why John was okay, because John knew, and that's why he was kind of okay with everything and being able to move in.
Gotcha. And then, but there's still, he's gonna have to move out, or he was gonna have to move out.
Debbie was not happy about it, and and the idea was John was not supposed to be moving in, but because of the situation going on with his mom and Andrea, he didn't really have anywhere to go. So that's why he was coming this way. And I was not expecting him to do that this fast. We talked about like piecemealing and slowly moving things, and it went from a slow thing to everything got moved in one day. And it kind of caught Debbie ear.
That's surprised.
Very quickly.
That's what. Because when you were talking about it earlier, saying that yeah, he wasn't good with it, but he understood. Like when we're trying to figure out the dynamic of everybody. Like when you say you two are married, I'm thinking, yeah, you guys are in love, and you guys, everything. You guys are one happy family over here, and then now you're bringing in your ex.
That's why we don't tell anybody we're married, because you automatically assume the word marriage, this is what you have.
Yeah.
But a lot of people get married for
No, I get it. I totally understand it.
And if you see my medical marriage, you will definitely understand.
And sorry to hear that. The issues and stuff. So
when you called me, I was actually on my way to get an EEG.
Yeah.
I had to switch the schedule.
You said you went and picked up your daughter's prescription on the way home that day?
This morning.
Or after you left the house, right? Well, which place did you go to?
At CVS on Cheyenne, Seagull.
Yes.
I have to receipt if you need it.
It was Cheyenne, or?
Seagull. Soaring Bowls.
Soaring Bowls. And then after that, you just come straight home here?
Yes, sir.
And then you don't remember what time you left?
No, sir, because I left and I went straight there. So I went and came here. So my receipt will say what time it was.
Okay, so we can check just the time. Just get like a time frame. It's like when you left the other house. So I know you said you weren't sure exactly when you left. And then you were telling Texas Skinner that he was just in boxer shorts when you left.
Yes, sir.
And that was inside the garage.
Yes, sir.
And he left kind of slightly open because he was kind of airing that out.
Yes, sir. Because I had popped his bag and he had his boxers on, and we were on the main floor and I popped his bag for him. So I know he had boxers on.
Oh, that was before.
He went out to smoke.
Okay. And then was he in the garage when Yoko came down?
Yes, sir.
Because Yoko thought that he was sleeping in
No, sir. He was in the garage.
She was in the garage at that time.
Because I told him to take a nap. Well, not take a nap, but to sleep it off. So.
Because he was drinking and smoking. So he was in the garage when Yoko came down, and then you told Yoko what the plans were for today as far as like taking the kids and stuff like that. And then she went upstairs.
Yes, sir.
And then what happened after that again?
I took like 2 more things out to my car, and then I left.
But you were inside the garage with him though?
Briefly before I left.
What's on your face? He wouldn't answer me because his phone is here. His phone's been here all day.
Whose phone is that?
That is our dad.
What was it?
It was on the garage in front of our house.
Oh.
It got left.
Like it, sir?
Yeah, we'll hold on to that then.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why did it up?
They're talking to me, and you guys are being nosy in there. Please be careful. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Hey!
I know. that should help you.
That's his phone. So that's his phone. You're sure?
May I touch it?
Do we know?
No.
Let's see. That's like. Got his own screensaver. You know his code by chance?
There's no book.
No code.
Just like it.
Alright, is that typical thing? He just leaves his stuff around?
Yeah, he just lost his wallet a couple of days ago.
That's what I
Actually, yesterday.
He lost his wallet.
Yeah, he called me, do you know where my wallet is? And he sent a picture of it after he found it. So, yes, that is very
typical. Okay, so you said you went, before you left, you went in the garage, briefly spoke with them, and then you went out the front door. And then when you left, was the garage still halfway open?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then after that, you went to the CVS on Cheyenne, and then from there, you came straight here.
Yes, sir.
And was anybody awake when you got home?
No, sir. The girls were passed out, so was there, yeah.
That's it. Is there anything else? That's fair. So it is 3:22, and that's gonna end the meeting.
Detective, when the girls approached with that phone, did you observe anything of note on it?
Yes.
What?
There appeared to be, to me, apparent blood, and it was smeared on the screen.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to look at the screen and see if there were any notifications present?
Yes, I did.
Were there?
There were none.
If you receive texts or calls on your phone, your notifications show up.
Correct.
And that's kind of a common thing.
Yes.
So it appeared to you that there was no incoming activity to that phone if it's just sitting there all day.
Agree.
After that interview was conducted, did you and other detectives authorize a search warrant for the Porcupine Rim address?
Yes.
And then were you part of the search of the Porcupine Rim address?
I did enter in and assist at that point.
Okay. And ultimately, did you exit and then conduct another interview with the defendant?
Yes.
While you were interviewing the defendant the third time, or I guess the second time for you, but the third interview, were you getting updates live from other detectives in the home as they found certain items?
I was, yes.
And I'd move for the admission of 620.
Any objection to 620?
No objection.
620 will be admitted.
And I am going to play it, but before I get yelled at by the judge, I'm going to say we have to end at 3, so we might have to stop halfway through or partway through.
Sure.
Before you start to play the statement, Council Purge.
It is August 7th, 2023 at approximately 19:55 hours at night. Detective was out with Anderson PD, badge number 1531. Detective Skinner out with Anderson PD, badge number 2233, and we're being again with Devyn Michaels. So, and just so you know, like, you know your rights, okay? Like I said, you're not under arrest, but I have to read your rights because we've been here for so long. We've been detained, okay? So, I know you said you want to speak with us, but I got to make sure that you understand your rights. And like I said, you're not under arrest, but I still have to read your rights because you are being detained, and we've been talking with you for quite some time, right? So you have the right to sign. You have that right. And you say can will be used against your court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney for answering questions, and have an attorney present while you answering questions. You can have an attorney. An attorney will be provided no cost to you. If you decide to answer your questions now, you may stop at any time and speak with an attorney before question continues. If you decide to stop answering questions once we have begun, all questions will stop. So you understand your rights? So like I said, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And it's basically because we've been talking to you for so long today, and now we're doing a search warrant. You are being detained, but you're not under arrest, like I said. You're not under arrest, right? And I know this is all kind of just coming to a shock. Everything that's been going on, like I was saying before, we have to make sure that we rule out every possibility, okay? And so, like, with his phone right there, do you know how his phone got there?
Well, it's by the cigarette butt, so it looks like he was smoking and he put his phone down. You didn't see the cigarette butt there?
No.
There's
Is
a
it cigarette butt over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And sure, if you test it, it'll be.
And he smokes cigarettes?
Yes, sir. Chain smoker.
Okay. When he was removing stuff, did he like cut his hands or anything?
Yes, sir.
Which hand do you remember?
I'm not sure, but he said on the table that has like the multiple parts to it, one of the parts came down and he said that like it took a chunk on his hand.
Like did you see him bleeding at all?
No, he told me about it.
Did he have like any bandages on him after he told you?
I didn't see. He just told me that it slammed down, and
When did he tell you that?
when we were moving it into the thing, he said that it came down on his hand and it took like a chunk.
What do you mean moving into the thing?
When we were moving in the table, he said that the table had snapped down on his hand.
Okay.
And
inside this garage right here?
yeah, he told me in the garage.
And which table inside the garage was it?
There's a white one that has multiple parts to it.
Do you know where it's at inside the garage?
And it's sitting right there.
Well, and then like when I go back in and look at it,
It's the white table is like before you hit the to the freezer, there's a white table with multiple sections to it.
so
What am I missing?
well, your reactions are starting to elevate and be different.
I don't need to do that, but I'm getting scared.
Okay, and what are you scared about?
Because you're asking me, did he hurt himself? And I'm going by what he told me. He said that when he was moving the table, because he loaded the truck by himself.
Okay. And so, I guess what is worrying you right now? You're saying, I mean, you've already told us.
Nothing is worrying me, but I feel like,
Things are pointing in your direction, like you were saying earlier.
and like I said, I didn't load the truck. He loaded everything himself, and the lighter things I unloaded. If I have the camera system, you can see that he did it.
Did you guys already, what do you mean? So the camp that you took down, it was up before you guys left? That was like one of the last things you took down?
Yes, sir.
Where's that camp system?
It's in the garage. I showed it to him.
Oh, okay. And it's like the DVR and everything's in there?
I think so. He said it records.
then that was recording you guys packing up right before
I
you
did
left.
not pack anything. He packed everything, sir.
I mean, that was what you guys packed. Was that the last thing you guys packed before you left? Come back here.
I didn't pack anything. He packed everything, but when I got back, he just tightened everything down and we left.
What do you mean when you got back?
When I left here, I went back to Henderson, got in his truck, and then we drove back here.
And so when you drove there, everything was already packed.
Yes, sir. Everything.
And then what time was that, do you think?
It was around 8:20, 8:30, and then we got here, I think it's at 9:01 on his.
Okay, and then after you unloaded everything here,
We got back
you
in
drove
his
back
truck.
over there.
Yes, sir. In his truck.
Now, did you leave your vehicle over there?
Yes, sir.
Now, why didn't you guys just both drive back?
Because he wanted to take his vehicle because of the trailer. He uses it for,
But like, why didn't you just drive your car and he drove his car?
because he said he wanted to drive one car. I sat in the passenger side of his truck.
Well, that's what I'm just asking. I didn't know what was the reason for, like, because you were planning on coming back here at some point, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I was trying to figure out why. Like, what
I
did you
offered and he said we could.
You'd rather just drive
Yes, sir.
back and forth.
And then we went to the gas station and he put more gas in his car. And you could see us at the gas station.
No, which gas station did you
The
go to?
Arco. We went to the Arco twice that day.
Which one's that?
On Windmill and Eastern.
Okay. You went to the Arco and Windmill and Eastern after you guys left to get here?
Yes, sir.
So it's might be between like 8 and 9 o'clock.
Oh, definitely. It was like beginning, like at 8:20 when we were leaving to head back here. And that's when I told you the Mountain Dew that he left was still on the gas pump from earlier that day. And I went over there and was showing him your drink is still sitting here.
And where was that at?
He left it on the gas pump the first time we were there.
Oh, okay.
You were asking, does he forget things a lot? Yeah.
He forgot his soda at that time. Okay. So we went back and looked at the video at Burlington. Do you remember anything else while you were there at Burlington? Like, you said that you took Janae to the bathroom. Was there any time that you took both girls and you guys both split up?
I had, after we came out of the bathroom, Tamia with me, and then John kind of was walking around by himself. I think he went to the shoes.
Was that at the when you get there, I guess, when you guys arrive at Burlington, at what point do you guys break off to take her to the bathroom?
Immediately, like almost immediately. She was asking for the bathroom when we first walked in.
Okay. Did you guys talk to anybody when you first walked in?
Just the security guy at the front, and he said it's towards the back. And me and Janae was walking back there.
Okay, that's when you split.
Yes.
And then after you guys left, that's when she's saying that Johnathan and Tamaya were walking around.
Yes, sir.
And they were contacted by somebody at that
Yes,
point.
I did not see that person.
Okay. So the video at Burlington shows, or at least what my partner was saying when he was there, when you guys get there, you talk to the security guard, but then you and Janaea and Tamaya basically split up from Johnathan at that point.
Tamia didn't go with us into the bathroom. I know that for a fact. It was just me and Janaea.
Did she follow you while you guys were going that way? Even though she didn't go into the bathroom?
I don't think so. I don't think she came with us that way.
Okay. As like I said, my partner was he was at the Burlington factory, looked at the video, and that's what he saw. So when you guys get there, you talk to the security guy, and then you and your two daughters walk,
Okay.
and then Johnathan walks away from you guys.
I know when we came out of the bathroom, she was definitely with me because we were looking at all the little knickknacks. like towards the back of the store.
Okay, was she waiting for you right there?
I do remember when we came out, she was right there.
Right by the bathroom entrance? Or?
No, by the gate. She didn't go into the bathroom. There was like a gate blocking it off.
Oh, okay. Was Johnathan anywhere around there?
Yeah.
How, when you talked to Maya, how sure was she about what she said to you about the guy coming up to her? I guess, how did that come up?
It was like a matter of fact, oh, well, there was a guy that said something, and I'm not sure the exact words, but she brought it up.
Like how does she bring it up?
There was a guy at the store that said, I'm coming after you, or I'm going to get you. And she said that in front of me and her grandmother, so I was like, we were going to tell you.
And so she just volunteered that information?
Yes.
Do you know, I guess, does she have any reason why she would tell you that?
I guess that's what she saw or heard.
Okay. And then after you guys split up after going to all those stores, and you take the kids back here to eat, and then he goes back to the house to eat back in the house?
No, we left Vaughn's. We took all the groceries out of his truck, put them into my truck, and then he went in to eat, and then we drove. So we went back to his house after Vaughn's to switch cars.
And were 2 girls with you at that time?
Yes, sir.
And then when you switched cars, what happened after that?
I drove back here.
And he stayed there?
To load up the thing.
And then you dropped the kids back off here?
I left them here and I drove back there to bring the truck down to help them unload it.
Okay. Carrie, do you have any additional questions?
No.
Okay. So, I guess at this point, I have to ask you like I asked before. Do you know what happened to Johnathan?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, the way how everything's investigation is going right now, yeah, it's not a normal, I guess, not a normal type of investigation, right? So that's why we have to go at the different avenues of this, make sure that we investigate every side to this case. Okay, so that's why we're doing the search warrant here at this point. Okay, so I'm asking you that, like, right now would be the time, if you know anything about what happened or you're involved in any way, now would be the time to tell me. Okay, so we're not going around chasing, doing other stuff. Like if you knew someone that possibly did this but you're trying to protect them, or you knew something happened and but you're not telling us, now is the time that we need to know that.
My last thing I did was John. I was popping his back, and then he went to smoke. And while he was smoking, I was talking to Yoko. And that was pretty much the end. And then I finished loading. He told me which ones he wanted me to take. And then that was it.
Say that again, he finished loading with something?
No, he told me like the kids' Wii controllers. There's like little things that were light enough for me to take, and he was gonna load up the bicycles and bring them down because he was supposed to come down first thing in the morning for us to take the girls to school.
Okay. And when you guys were running around yesterday, what was, I always mispronounce his name. Devyn. What was he doing? Devyn.
He was here.
Did he work yesterday?
Sunday, no.
He doesn't work on Sundays?
Yes.
And was he home pretty much the whole day yesterday? Like when you came back here and had the kids, was he here at that time too?
Yes, sir. And then when we got home, he started cooking dinner.
Do you know when the last time him and his dad talked?
It's been a minute. They don't talk. John doesn't really talk to the majority of the people of the family, like, including his dad and everything like that.
Okay. And then who?
I'm sorry, so I'm
If you want to turn it down. Oh.
freezing.
Yeah, you can shut the vent if you want. Whose idea was it for him to move here?
His. He wanted to come here to be a family and have me and him under one roof with the girls.
Okay, and then was that up for discussion, or he just said, I want to move with you, and then that was like a done deal?
No, I wouldn't say it was a done deal. It was a lot of back and forth with it. Like, we've been talking about it for months.
And did Did Devyn know that he was coming?
Not yesterday, no. Absolutely not.
And I mean, did Devyn know that John was moving in?
Devyn knew that John and I had talked about it. Devyn did not like the idea, but I did not know John was bringing all that stuff last night.
Gotcha.
We were supposed to just be moving like the girls' things, the bunk beds. I had packed up like all their old clothes, you know, like bags and bags of clothes I had packed up for them.
Okay. And what did Devyn and Johnathan talk about yesterday?
They didn't talk yesterday. Devyn had opened the door, saw that we were loading into the garage, and that was it. And then,
Oh, they never actually spoke to each other?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
And then
Devyn made it sound like he might have talked to him.
no, sir.
So he saw him, went back inside, and that was it.
Yeah. I think he just opened the door because he heard noises. I can't speculate, but it was just open the door and close it type thing. And then when I left, I just let him know I was leaving, and that was it.
Would Devyn have any reason to want to hurt Johnathan?
No, sir. No, sir.
You don't think so?
No, sir. I mean, they didn't get along perfectly, but no.
Anything like in the past that they've gotten into fights or anything like that?
Arguments, but nothing ridiculous, no.
Okay. Do you think Devyn would have anything to do with it? Or no? Why do you smile and say that? Shake your head though.
He's one of those types that things don't bother him. Like, you could be angry and everything like that, and he's always very calm and mellow.
And how upset was Johnathan when he found out that you and Devyn got married?
Oh, he was furious at first, but once he started realizing, like, with all the medical things and everything like that, John and I, we started talking again. We hang out. We actually go to birthday parties and like the 4th of July, and get all the fireworks with the girls. Like, we actually were building our connection again so we could have more time with our family.
And that's something that you wanted to happen also?
Yes, sir.
And then, because like, the reason why I ask these questions is, as far as like him being the one that said that he was going to move here, is the way you guys make him sound, it's like he's very pushy and kind of wants to get his way with stuff.
Yeah,
right?
he definitely can be that way.
Like, was this something that he forced upon you? Like, hey, I'm moving back in?
It wasn't that he was forcing upon it, but I know he was having issues with Yoko, and she was trying to get him out of her house. Like, the night, last night, she was telling me he still hadn't paid her any rent money. He owed her $200. She was saying, see if I could get his EBT card, so she could at least take the money off of that. So I know she was pretty
upset at him for not being able to pay her back.
She said it had been years since he had paid rent. So, and I sat there and helped them talk to the car company to kind of get the payments back on track because he was falling behind with that. His phone was constantly being turned off for not payment and things.
Do you think that, did he have any issues with Yoshida?
He said that they were basically using his EBT to live like a lifestyle. Like they would go and get the fancy food and everything and kind of use all the money, and he would have it on the card.
That Yoshida and Yoko would do that?
Yes.
How upset did that make Johnathan?
Oh, they argue daily.
Do you think that Yoshida or Yoko would have anything to do to hurt him?
I don't see them being capable of hurting him. Like, I know they argue, but I don't see them being aggressive people. Like, I know Andrea had pulled a knife on him.
But how long ago was that?
Last year, I think.
It was last year.
From what I was told. I just know that he was trying to get out of that house as quickly as he could. And it was supposed to have been like a piecemeal type thing. And it went from a gradual thing to everything now.
Okay.
What about his relationship with his brother? And I guess with the other
When I first met John, they didn't talk at all. And then they started talking briefly, and then they stopped talking again. Same thing with the dad, John. We talked to him briefly, but he didn't get along with the wife, so he said he didn't talk to him at all. Like, I've never even met JC the whole time we were together. He showed up to the house one time to pick up Devyn when he first moved out here, and that was it. And JC lives around Cheyenne today, so not that far. But he's never reached out to us or anything like that.
So I know that your marriage with Dev is on paper, but I noticed that you guys wear rings.
Oh, I got this.
I know, but he wears a ring too. Mm-hmm. So if it's on paper, why are you guys doing the rings and stuff? And you got your ex moving in to essentially.
I got the ring. I don't know. The rings aren't really significant. It was just part of the little ceremony that we do.
Rings are very significant in marriage. They're a symbol of a connection to another person.
We definitely have a connection. He's like my best friend. And he'll tell others I'm definitely his best friend. I've tried to help him. Like, he's gone through a lot. And so have I. And he actually saved my life, so I'm very grateful for him.
Okay. It's just, you understand how it looks, right? So I completely understand that we need a medical power of attorney in a sense with the spouse. But to take it the next step and actually wear rings to show your connection to the world it is a romantic connection. It's showing that you're married to someone and that you have a respectful relationship with someone in marriage.
And we have a different, I would say, respectful relationship. But at the same time, John was like accepting of ours, so that's why he was moving out. At first, but that was like only like a couple of weeks, and then the more him and I talked, he was okay. And once you go back and look like at the text messages, you'll see like.
Okay, I wasn't sure what that relationship was, and like if this other stuff came out.
No, that he found out about it because of that, and of course he was like, pretty furious. But that was in October, and by November we were already on decent terms, and I was going over to the house to see the girls and everything like that.
So the caseworker talked to you about your family dynamic?
Yeah.
So you got brought up?
Of course.
Okay.
But yeah, John and I had already started working towards things back last November.
I know after you left the house last night, you went to CVS, got her medication, and then did you try to contact John after you got home and into this morning?
Early this morning I did.
And that's when he wasn't answering, you were trying to figure out the school stuff, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because he said everything was loaded up, and then when I got up to start packing everything, I couldn't find any of it.
Okay. Oh, that's right, the school supplies, correct. Okay. So you're obviously contacting him. Now, how do you know that he does not have a PIN code on his phone?
Because I used his phone when we couldn't get it to work, because for a long time, when I would call him, it would go straight to voicemail.
Okay.
So I know his phone.
Okay, so you've been on his phone in the past. So one of the things that we noticed when we were walking up, we noticed the phone on the driveway. And then obviously we went in and talked to you, we talked to your daughter, talked out here, the girls brought it over. When we looked at the phone, there were no notification messages to show that there was a missed call, a missed text. So I'm asking a direct question. Did you know that phone was there, and did you look at it and then just forget about it or something?
No, there should have been, because on my phone, it shows,
Missed call, missed, or notification?
well, it shows delivered but not read. So it's showing that he's gotten them, and he's not opening them up.
Okay.
On my phone. So I don't know about no notifications on his side.
Okay.
Mine's showing me this there.
Okay.
I don't know how
Does his show a red? Like, does he have the
I don't know.
messages?
I know on mine, once he reads it, it did, yes, it will say,
Okay. So on his phone, it should show red if you looked at his messages?
yes, just like Yoko's does.
And back and forth. Okay. Okay. And then he never said anything last night about not knowing where stuff's at?
We didn't talk about his phone, no. The only thing he asked me about was his wallet that morning.
Okay.
And you can look at it and it says, where's my wallet? And then I called him and I told him where I remember seeing it. And then like a little while later, he sends me a picture saying, I found my wallet.
Sorry, can you talk about? What kind of wallet do you have?
A little skirt thingy.
Like free from the cards in there? Or?
Is it like a bifold wallet
It
or?
looks like it's about this, like a little square wallet.
Oh, okay, and does it, is there anything else in the house right now that belongs to him?
Yeah, that belongs to him.
Anything, like, you said he found his wallet? And he found it where?
It was on the table, but he had cleared off the table, so all the stuff he had moved have been other places.
And then he had lost his wallet yesterday?
Yesterday morning.
And he was looking around for it. Did he, do you know where he put his wallet after that? Like, did he have it with
He
him?
shopped all day. He used it all day.
Is there anything else that belongs to him, other than the stuff that he brought over? Does he have any other belongings here, like clothes
Yeah,
or
there's a ton of stuff here now.
all of the stuff's here?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't, because his wallet wasn't at the house, Paladura. Do you know where it would be right now?
Yes, sir.
And then does he carry, like I know some people carry like their social security card, medical cards.
He gave me his social security card. He told me to hold on to it because it's very important. So that was in my purse, I believe I had
When did he give that to you?
yesterday.
Okay.
It's in a black plastic folding thing.
Okay.
He said it was very important for me to put it someplace safe.
So we were sent a picture from inside. There's a picture of his wallet with his ID that was in one of the drawers in your bedroom.
Okay, one of his old ones, because I have a lot of his old ones.
Oh, he had like an old, what did they look like?
I don't know, like I have all of his old driver's license, and he had all of his old stuff.
Okay. And then an old wallet with the driver's license? How many do you think you have in there?
I think I have 2 of his licenses.
Are they both in wallets or
Yeah, we have an old one of Devier's as well.
in separate wallets? Or?
No, just in separate places.
Okay. Where was those other ones? Like the ones for Johnathan? Where did you keep those at?
In one drawer and Devier's in a different drawer.
Which drawer?
One's in like my drawer with like some doorknobs and stuff, and then the other one's in a nightstand for on the other side.
Oh, okay. And you think you have a couple of his driver's license?
I know I do, and I have them on my phone too.
Oh, and why does he give you those, or why do you
I know how it sounds, but he literally said, hold on to this because it's important. He literally said that.
About what?
Like the social and everything. And I have the EBT card, and you could see at the gas station, he handed me the EBT card and said, this is the code, and then he gave me the other one.
What's that?
I said, this isn't good.
Why did you say that?
Because he's telling me to do things, and you're asking me about it, and...
Well, I mean, you're explaining it, that's why
you
we're asking.
see at the gas station, he hands me the card and says, hold on to this in case you need something. Like it's,
And that's the EBT card?
Yes, sir. It is at the gas station. You can see him hand it to me.
The Argo?
No, and not the Arco. There's another gas station on the Pecos one where we stopped, and I think, yeah, because he gave me the card and then he went outside to smoke a cigarette. But it's on the security camera. You can see him hand it to me.
Do you know which gas station?
I don't know the name of it. It's by the Burger King.
Burger King. You know, like
It's just off the Pecos and Windmill. It's like right there. You can.
Pecos Windmill, Burger King.
There's a gas station right there. He was talking about the man that works there. He parks right.
Like on the corner?
He was telling me about the man that works there, and he sleeps in his car and everything like that.
What time do you think that was at?
That was after we unloaded everything. We went right there, and I got a Monster drink, and I don't remember what he got.
So right after you left.
When we got back to his side of town.
So coming back is when you went to that gas station?
Yeah.
So after 9 o'clock. And that's when he gave you his EBT card?
Yes. You can see him hand it to me, and he walks out the door.
So that's near his place. You said Pecos and Windmill? The Burger King?
Yes, sir. Like, he kept...
Because there's I think 2 gas stations. There's a Chevron right there on the corner.
I think it's like a Charles Horse.
Okay, so there's Charles there, and then across Candy Corner from that gas station is another gas station. I think it's a Shell or something.
I'm not sure the other one, but...
It was next to the Burger King.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please check the security. You can see him, and you can see him telling me the code and everything. I don't know why he was giving me things, but he was telling me to hold on till we keep him safe. And that's what I was doing.
That was a social security card. What about his driver's license?
I've always had his driver's license. He's
The
always...
problem I have with that is that the driver's license found in the house is a current one. It's not a
But he just gave it to me.
I know, but he would need that for work. That's
He
why
has
I'm asking.
another one.
You said that he gave you an old one, you had it in the drawer.
Well, no, he's given me old ones before. I have multiple ones. So you can look around the house. There's more than one.
Okay, and if this one's expired in 2025, that's gonna be his newest one.
Okay.
It's weird that you have his latest driver's license, and that it was tucked in a drawer.
Yeah, I put it away to keep it safe. It should be wrapped in like a whole bunch of bags, right?
Okay, do you understand that?
I understand, but I also have Social Security. I understand, and that's why I'm like, it's just getting weirder and weirder. It's like I'm doing things that help and it's not helping me. I got it.
Well, yeah, is that just being able to explain some of the stuff? That's all we need is
I'm
explanation.
trying to explain it, but the more I'm talking, the more it just sounds really stupid. And
Especially driver's license, that doesn't need to really be kept safe. A
No.
social security card or birth certificate, I completely understand. Especially if somebody is transitioning in their life and they're wanting to find a new place to live, you want your important papers.
but I don't know what else was in it. It was just a lot of things.
Okay. But it wasn't his wallet, he didn't hand his wallet over to you.
No, it was a lot of things. Like it was like a square thing he handed to me, and then a black what are those called?
But not his wallet. You know what his wallet looks like, you saw him pull it out to purchase
Yeah.
things. So he had his, so when we find his wallet, it's gonna have his driver's license and his cards. Okay. I just don't know why someone would give a driver's license to someone. But no, he didn't give you a
I
driver's
told
license.
you, when John and I were together, I had everything. He had me hold on to it so he wouldn't spend money needlessly and things like that. Like he's like, hold on to this. And
Yeah, but you guys don't have that relationship right now.
we actually were.
So you're closer than we thought.
Yes. I went.
Are you?
He asked me to marry him yesterday.
I just don't know what time this is. I apologize.